because I'm about to argue with you. Just save it for
No,
we got people.
not arguing.
Well, who would you rather win the Rumble?
Yeah, who would you rather win the Rumble? By the way, we're live right now. Let's go. Let's see who tunes in. Let's see who's a real one.
Anybody but him.
Anybody
Rumble,
but him?
bro.
He said anybody but him?
Yeah, anybody.
Nah,
but
that's
him.
extreme.
Come on.
Who's anybody? What up, Marco?
He can get to Seth without that. You know.
All
Whoever
right,
in the
so
Rumble
can
needs to
Cody.
go after
So can
Roman.
Cody. So that's not
Yeah,
that's
let
not a
Cody win it
logical.
again.
That's not a. You let Cody win it again?
Again.
But you would say CM Punk can
Again.
get to Seth without it.
Yeah, that's bound to happen. Let Cody win it again, and then he's gonna actually defeat the streak this time. There's your storyline.
All right, no. So I cannot believe you just said you don't want Punk. What up, Ace? What up, Terrence? I cannot believe you just said with a straight face. I'm on, guys. By the way, whenever y'all ready, I'm gonna. I don't understand how you could say with a straight face that you don't that anybody but CM Punk you'd rather see Cody win again. Like, how does that? How does realistically? How does that make any kind of sense? What is your
doesn't
gripe?
it make sense?
Because you just said that Seth can get to him without having to win the Rumble.
No,
but
I
that's,
said the CM Punk thing is they're already heading towards that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't get it.
So why does he need to win the Rumble to get that title shot? He's already getting it.
What
He
up,
is not
K
getting it,
Smooth?
though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Though. What are you talking about? That's not even what's happening. K Smooth flexing that he's been a member for
You could
10
already
months.
see it's making it. Hey, let's go.
No, don't say that, bro. He's actually headed towards Drew McIntyre, if anything.
No.
He's headed.
WrestleMania is gonna be Seth versus CM Punk, bro. That's their moneymaker.
All right, but giving him
they
the Royal.
don't need. No.
All right, so
They
why
don't
does
need to
Cody
do
need it?
that is a possibility. No, I never said Cody needs. I just said I don't mind him getting it again over.
But that's
giving CM lame.
Oh, so you're just a CM Punk hater.
A title shot.
Okay. What up, VJ?
That he doesn't deserve.
Oh, okay. So you're just a CM Punk hater.
Yeah. No, he just doesn't. It's a typical WWE move they do every year, every other year.
How? How is that a typical WWE move, bro? What do you mean?
Somebody
Signing CM Punk is
back.
anti-WWE.
No, somebody gets signed. They give them the Rumble. They give them the WrestleMania match.
How?
Everybody.
Dude,
Goldberg, Rock.
All right. The Rock didn't even win the
AJ
Rumble.
Styles.
It was John
Randy
Cena.
back then.
It was John Cena that won the Rumble.
You telling me you don't know this route I'm talking about?
No,
Their
because
typical move?
Edge was a special occasion.
Edge
came from breaking his neck. He was
happens
retired.
to the You're not getting the point.
Oh, of course I'm getting the point that there's been hype beast winners at the
Exactly.
Rumble like Brock
All the
Lesnar,
time.
Goldberg.
All
Wait,
the time.
Goldberg didn't
All
even win the Rumble. What are you talking about? Goldberg didn't win the Rumble? Let me see. I don't think Goldberg ever won the Rumble.
Yeah, I think that's how he got his shot, the title shot.
Nah.
AJ Styles.
No, he dominated the Royal Rumble, but he didn't win it.
Oh, okay.
And he entered at number 28, quickly eliminated Lesnar after delivering a spear, and then eliminated Rusev and Harper. And then Undertaker entered at 29 and eliminated Baron Corbin, Goldberg, The Miz, and Sami Zayn.
Did you say Undertaker?
Undertaker eliminated Goldberg in the dominant performance that he had. That he came out and eliminated Brock.
Yeah. Straight cheese. If that happens.
All right, then. So he didn't win the Rumble. Goldberg has never won the Rumble, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Fine. Don't pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about.
Dude, I already said
They're
that they
always bringing people back and make them win the Rumble. Then they go to WrestleMania.
You're acting like
Yeah,
this.
dude, you realize to win the The whole point of winning the Royal Rumble is to fucking
Go
get
to
the title at
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of it. What are you talking about? What
They
up, Gabe?
should give it to somebody that's been with the company.
Dog, you mean to tell me
somebody that just
CM
got
Punk, who
signed.
has never won, gave the company all he had, was mistreated left and right
Here
by
we
the
go.
company.
Here we
He
go.
ends up leaving because they drove this guy into
Here
the
we go.
ground. And you mean to tell me you're not going to capitalize on his big return by giving him the win and add to his legacy because you want to be arrogant? Who better than CM Punk right now to win the Royal Rumble? You said Cody Rhodes, and I love Cody Rhodes. I absolutely love Cody Rhodes, and I absolutely would not be upset if Cody won. I wouldn't be mad at all. But to say that Cody Rhodes deserves it over CM Punk is like laughable.
Is Twitter down?
Twitter, not that I see. I just
That
used it.
shit won't even.
The only way I see Cody going after Roman. How's he
Leader,
gonna go
this
to
is
SmackDown?
Sin City. Sin City from the chat. Oh yeah, Case Mo says Twitter is down.
Okay, yeah.
This is
So-
Sins,
'Cause it
guys.
It keeps saying I have no followers and I don't have a For You page or nothing.
Elon cut everybody off.
So I just think that ultimately at the end of the day, when you look at the landscape, Gunther has all the time in the world to win it. Gunther has all the time in the world to win the Rumble. The only other option that you haven't even mentioned that I would accept would be Bobby Lashley to win the Royal Rumble. And he's not going to win it. We all know he's not going to win it.
We all know who needs to win it, and it is Brock Lesnar.
Nah, if Brock Lesnar, I used this term. I used this term earlier, but that applies to the term that I used earlier applies to this. That would be the most tone deaf move on planet Earth. Having Brock Lesnar come back and win the Rumble would literally destroy. Like if that's gonna happen, then they better have. I mean, yeah, exactly.
He's the fucking beast. I mean, what can you do? He's the beast.
I'd rather see our truth win
he's
the
a
Rumble at that
beast.
point. Bobby had his title run. All right, no. Now, hold on. You're going to tell me that Bobby Lashley is not worthy of winning the Royal Rumble? Bobby ain't winning a world title anytime soon? Okay, I understand that because of the way that the landscape looks right now for him. But to say that Bobby already had his run is even more laughable than what Sins has been saying. And what Sins has been saying is pretty laughable. How old is CM Punk? He's in his 40s. I think Cody should win. Nah, man. Look, call me a wagoner for CM Punk. By the way, Brian, I don't know how many rounds, but
I'm almost
all right. No, you
washed.
You good.
Can't wrestle. Botches moves left and right.
The way says
wait.
who? Did you watch?
Can't
Did you
wait.
watch his matches?
I can't wait.
Did you watch his matches at AEW? What
We'll
moves
see
did he?
we'll see how Lex defends him.
What do you mean? Did you not see the match he had with Samoa Joe at All In?
You talking the title screen sins, bro? Come on.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Did you watch the match with Samoa Joe at All In? That was his last match.
Was alright.
It was all right. What do you mean? He even bled.
Oh wow, he slit his head with a razor.
All right. What do you mean?
man.
They went through the table. They went through. All right. You're gonna dumb down wrestling now. That's like saying, all right. That's like saying, oh yeah, we're just watching sweaty men
You
put a
just
ball
said
in
he
a
bled like that
laundry
means
basket.
anything now,
No,
especially
well-
in AEW.
Well, because that shows that he went above and beyond. He bled outside the ring. He went through the table. He went on the turnbuckle and did that move that he does that looks kind of like the pedigree off the top rope.
The Pepsi plunge.
Yeah, the Pepsi
Ain't
plunge.
pretty no more. That's all.
What did you want? What else did you want him to do in that match? Yeah, he did bleed himself. I know people posted online, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that he did bleed. He went to the top rope. He had his signature moves. Samoa Joe had some hard-hitting moves as well. They had a good back and forth. It was for the title. I mean, that match was really good. I thought it was one of his better matches in AEW. That one, the MJF one, are like two of the matches that stick out to me the most. Nah, I'm not even going to talk about their match from Ring of Honor. That was back in the Stone Age when we're talking about current old CM Punk because he's saying that CM Punk is going to botch this, that, or the other. Now, do I think that this is CM Punk of old that could do a 1 hour Iron Man match and carry Brock Lesnar? Probably not.
He did a dog collar match.
But yeah, he did do the dog collar match with MJF, and it was one of the best
One of the
matches.
hardest matches in
He
wrestling.
had a lot of matches.
All right, dude, but we're talking
You're
about
telling me you didn't see all the botches he was doing the whole time?
yes,
he was
against Powerhouse Hobbs. I think he had
All
one
types
against like
of
John
random
Moxley.
shit.
Yeah, but it was usually
All
when he was
types of random
facing.
shit.
It was usually when he was facing guys that weren't.
Not WrestleMania material.
Man, nah, you're just saying that just to create. You're just trying to be the villain for the story. Nah, he did have his fair share of forgetful matches. I'm not saying that, but he had at least 2 or 3 matches that you could point out and you could put them in his legacy, like section of his career. Like the MJF match that he had in AEW, that was the best match. That's a classic. That's and you're talking to someone that was very critical of his AEW run. And that's him being as old as he is right now. So WWE is so much safer than AEW. They don't even wrestle at the same pace. They don't even wrestle as hardcore. They don't even like this guy is gonna have so much time to practice and build towards that match, whatever match it may be, and going up against a guy like Seth Rollins. I mean, Seth Rollins can easily carry him.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. He already in better shape.
Yeah, I think CM Punk is in great
He's a
shape
little
right
pudge ball in AEW.
Nah, not really. Don't throw him under the bus
That's
like
why
that.
he was probably he wasn't looking great.
He
looks jacked right now. Like even his shoulders and shit are like
he looks better right now. Yes, he looks a little better right now because the problem is that he looks fresh. He's
motivated too, I think.
Nah, he's motivated, no doubt. He's definitely no doubt motivated, and he knows that if he's gonna face somebody like Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, he needs to bring his A game because that's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Seth Rollins will hurt you.
Chris Jericho said he loves his AEW schedule. Oh, the AEW schedule is more favorable, but the matches are a little harder on your body. So that's what I'm saying, that he's more... He's fighting...
Tape all that shit in one day.
Yeah, like his matches in AEW, not all of them, but the matches that AEW tends to put together are a lot tougher because they're...
I'm here.
I'm here. What mode are you into?
Whichever. If you want to keep doing the affection shit or domination, whatever.
Yeah, let's start with that. Lex, do you remember the Cena versus Punk match before WrestleMania 29? That match was so good, just as good as the Punk versus Joe match at All In. No, CM Punk and John Cena had perfect chemistry in the ring. Anything they did, whether it was on the mic or wrestling in the ring, they really... That was one of his arch nemesis, and they really put together a good program. Whenever they laced up together, it was always fun to watch. That, to me personally, still to this day, my favorite CM Punk moment through and through is 100% the Money in the Bank versus John Cena match. I recently watched it again a couple weeks ago, and it was... That shit was like poetry and writing. Having Vince McMahon involved with John Laurinaitis, like, it was just beautiful, beautiful from beginning to end. The crowd reception, it's one of the most iconic moments in the modern era, and yeah, I give them all the credit in the world. John Cena really put together some good stuff with CM Punk. What are my thoughts on Chris Jericho? I think Chris Jericho is a super Swiss Army knife. You could put him anywhere on the card and he'll fit right in. You could put him to wrestle against just about anybody. He'll fit right in. And his character has morphed and evolved so much through the years that you just got to give credit where credit is due. The guy is simply one of the greatest of all times, 100%. And the but that I'm going to add here is just a personal but. It doesn't take away from his wrestling ability, but Chris Jericho, the person, I feel like he's being too much of an AEW cheerleader. I feel like I understand that he's in AEW right now and he's Team AEW and he wants to help put them on the map and he wants to speak positively about them. But you don't have to do that in a way where you put down WWE. And I feel like he's put down WWE way too much, way too often recently. Unnecessarily so, you know? And it bothers me because I feel like if there's one guy that got the special treatment in WWE, it was Chris Jericho. Like, you couldn't have asked for a better career in WWE than the one Chris Jericho had. I mean, I know he says it as a pun, and it's become like a running joke, but he did beat The Rock and Stone Cold on the same night.
He won't let you forget it.
He won't let you forget it because dude, he beat the two biggest, iconic, like stratosphere level, real mega stars, and he beat them. That is much better than what Daniel Bryan did, and what Daniel Bryan did was amazing, beating Triple H, Randy, and Batista on the same night. I mean, he basically took out Evolution by himself. And even then, what Chris Jericho did was above that. So this guy was pampered. You know, maybe he had a rough going backstage sometimes. He was in WWE long enough to have his heartaches and his setbacks and this, that, or the other, but he was barely ever injured. He was always in prominent storylines. They gave him all the time in the world on TV. He always had the opportunity to say whatever the hell he wanted. I mean, you just couldn't have asked for a better career, in my opinion. So when I see him talking...
Y2J.
Exactly, Y2J. Even the way they promoted him...
Watch out, Charlie, he's coming for you.
So in my head, I just don't understand how this guy is all of a sudden so pro AEW and like he forgets how great of a WWE career he had. Like that to me just, I don't know. Like, bro, even while being in AEW, you know, they brought him on the Stone Cold podcast and put it on the WWE network. While he, so like he even got the multiverse crossover treatment. Like they allowed him to go do New Japan while he was working the Rumble. Like he just got special privileges. And again, you could go ahead and put over AEW. You could give them credit, but to say, oh yeah, we have the best wrestlers in the world. Oh yeah, WWE. I think we have better shows. And you know what I'm saying? Oh, why are you laughing? Something happened?
No, I was just laughing.
Oh,
yeah, Trout.
Trout with the gang slang. Oh, I see, Trout.
Just trying to make it.
So to me, it's just like, come on, dog. What are we talking about here? What are you whining about? Bro, leave me no! Leave me alone. I'm changing. Alright, let me see. Shoot Jericho is your favorite. He didn't like Y2J gimmick when he came back. Do you think Jericho should retire, though? Dog, he still puts on really good matches. Like the Will Ospreay match at All In. That was a match that I enjoyed. And I enjoy some of the stuff that he's done on a weekly basis in AEW. And as AEW champion, he was fun to watch, too. So, as long as he's able to perform at the rate he's performing, I don't see why he should retire.
Just trying to make it.
So yeah, Christian and Randy was underrated for sure.
So I didn't know they were gonna do day one pay-per-view.
Well, no, it's a Monday Night Raw, and since it's happening on the 1st of January, they're calling it day one.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's just like a
theme. I was like, oh, they brought it back.
Yeah, it's a themed Monday Night Raw. And, I mean, it is gonna be pay-per-view level. They got the championship matches on the line.
Yeah, because McIntyre versus Seth.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think Becky versus Nia Jax is happening too.
And they turned AJ heel.
Yeah, the AJ stuff on SmackDown was really, really dope. I really like what they did. As long as Jericho's body can take it and fans support it. You know what's funny? That like the most critical I've been of Chris Jericho was when he got really, really big. I think it was like during the pandemic that it looked like he just didn't care anymore. And then out of nowhere, like a couple months later, I tuned back into AEW and he lost it all and he had a six-pack again. So, you know, as long as he's motivated and he's still able to go, I just don't want him to force it. That's all. I think he's still solid.
But she's been pushing it already, bro. Like he's only... Who in his era is still wrestling?
Nah, nobody.
Really?
Active like him? Nobody.
Yeah. With Triple H gone, Rock gone, Austin gone.
Yeah, he's from the Attitude Era. Everybody's gone. Kenny Omega get well soon? Yep, unfortunate. So yeah, Jericho. And then let me focus on, real quick, let's switch to Drew McIntyre. You know, a lot of people are feeling like he might be on the downside with WWE, a little upset or hurt. You know, I think that's all bullshit and baloney. I think Drew McIntyre is going to stay. I think Drew McIntyre is one of those WWE guys. He got let go with 3MB, and he always wanted to come back. I don't think that Drew McIntyre is going to just throw all that hard work away. I think he knows that eventually he's going to be champion again, bro. Triple H loves him. Triple H will put the belt around him at some point. You just got to be patient. I just feel like one thing that fans aren't is patient. And sometimes being too patient, like with Dolph Ziggler's situation, that's a problem. But I don't think that's the case with Drew McIntyre at all. I think Drew McIntyre has a very, very good spot in that company. And I think he has support from management. And let's face it, Drew McIntyre does look the part. Like, this guy is a WWE superstar through and through. 6'6", monster-looking specimen, great hair. You know, really solid moveset, physical. Has put on 5-star caliber matches. I mean, he's the total package. Really solid on the mic. You know, he gives you a little diversity on the roster, being from Scotland. I just feel like he's the perfect combination for WWE to keep forever, honestly. And he's faced enough adversity through his career too to know that, like, eventually he's gonna get the payoff. I think Triple H, you could trust Triple H in that regard. Triple H has talked wonders. Triple H loves Drew McIntyre, man. He loves Drew McIntyre. Triple H, when it comes to like, you know, he likes the indie wrestlers, but remember, he's from the WWE era where everyone was a gigantic. So I think Drew McIntyre is going to be in WWE for a while. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe AEW offers him a ton of money and offers him title opportunities and main events, and he ends up rolling with that. Who knows, bro? You know, we really don't know. I'm going based on what history has shown, and history showed that he was dedicated to coming back to WWE and proving his worth. So that's why I'm thinking that he'll end up sticking around. CM Punk will win the world title next year. I don't know, because, like, look at what Sins just said. If Sins said that, whether he was trolling or not, you know, Bobby Lashley said that as well. And Bobby Lashley was dead serious. He said that he doesn't want WWE to just hand him everything, hand him Royal Rumble, hand him title matches. Bobby Lashley sounded a little pissed off. So I feel like, you know,
what the fuck?
if there are enough people against it, maybe it doesn't happen. What up, Zay? Everything's going all right. How about you? I think Drew should get one more run. I don't think he should get one more run. I think he should get multiple runs, bro. He's only been champion once. Drew McIntyre hasn't really been in the main event like that. You think Triple H likes Omos? Yeah. I don't know why there's this notion online that people think that Omos is not liked in the new management. Bayley's going to win women's championship next year. I think Bayley winning the Rumble would be good for her once she parts ways with Damage Control. I can see Sheamus leaving.
Shit on EO.
Yeah, exactly. With Io Sky at WrestleMania. Sheamus leaving, that's another case. Sheamus is one of those WWE lifers, but he's already done it all. He's kind of in the same position as Edge. There's not much else they could offer him. He's done it all. He's had stables. He's had tag team title runs. He's had championship title runs. He's had mid-card title runs. He's really done it all. Why do you think Drew will leave? I don't think Drew will leave. I think Drew will stay. What up, Jay? Who do you see winning the Money in the Bank? Good question, bro. Dog, if Cody doesn't beat Roman at WrestleMania, which could happen, and if Cody doesn't fight for a title at WrestleMania, I think Cody should win the Money in the Bank at the very least.
Oh, and then by the way, I was wrong. If Roman keeps the title to SummerSlam of 2024, he passes Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that's a long time, dog. The only way that I want to see... All right, so let me bring up that conversation, Brian, because we had a really good conversation last time, and I want to see what the chat has to say here. Guys, by the way, we're 3 likes short from 10, man. If you guys could like it up, that'll be amazing. So here's the catch. Brian was asking me if I would like to see Roman Reigns beat Hulk Hogan's record. And if he were to catch up to Hulk Hogan, he would have to have it till when, Brian? 2025?
SummerSlam. No. I originally thought it was next year, but it's actually 2024, like the year coming up.
Okay.
SummerSlam.
So SummerSlam 2024 would be when Roman breaks Hogan's record. And he was asking me, do you want to see Roman hold the belt till that, record, or do you want to see him lose it prior? I put up the argument of I would like for Hogan to keep that record. Honestly, I have a soft spot for Hogan, so I'm a little biased. But I think that that's the perfect way to keep that era of wrestling alive. That's the best way you can still protect that golden era, that age of wrestling that doesn't exist anymore, and it hasn't existed for so long. The eat your vitamins, say your prayers era. If Roman were to keep the belt post WrestleMania, it's only because he's going to be more active. I think what has hurt Roman's run is the lack of activity. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. I literally think Roman hasn't been as active, not just because his people online are like, oh, Roman is lazy. Oh, I think it's literally because of his health. I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't think Roman's body is probably in a position where his body probably can't handle the wear and tear that... I don't think that it's like a lazy that he doesn't want to be a fighting champion. I think Roman is so sweet in the ring now that he could have 5-minute matches every week if he wanted to. I don't think it's about that. It's about protecting the character and protecting himself, which is more important than protecting the character. I think he's protecting his health in general because when he's
a part-timer.
Because that's the only way to protect himself. If he runs his body into the ground wrestling every week, it's the injuries racking up. It's the lack.
That's why Brock Lesnar did it, because he wanted to protect himself.
Yeah, you're right. He wanted to protect himself from giving a shit of wanting to be there.
Roman's doing the same thing though. So.
Yeah, Roman's cancer resurfaced, and he had to battle through that again. And then during the pandemic, they had to be extra careful with him. So I think it comes down to health first. I think that's why he have to protect his health, not to mention the money. Oh yeah, and the money's probably higher than it's ever been because his stock is bigger than it's ever been. So yeah, I agree. I think there's a money play here. Brock and Kenny have the same condition. Yeah, Kenny Omega with so if you see Brock Lesnar, he recovered and he returned. So Kenny Omega could recover and return. I just feel like Kenny Omega's body is warning him that his time is slowly coming to a wrap. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with Roman? But to go back on what I was trying to mention, I would only have Roman hold the belt extensively if he's going to be active. If we're going to get the same old Roman that we've had for the last, 2 years now, I will say, hey, my Uso, my tribal chief, beautiful run, but this is the end of the line. Because Roman's in a position where he absolutely does not need the belt. And I think the shows they've put on have been so good without the belt. Imagine having a fighting champion. Every pay-per-view would feel like WrestleMania. Plus, you're ruining Cody because you can't beat him your second chance. Nah, I don't think you're ruining Cody. I think Cody is... It's very hard to ruin Cody. Right, I think for them to ruin Cody... Bro, Cody lost in 2023, I think only 2 times maybe? and like clean. He hasn't lost clean. I don't think there's just no way that Cody gets ruined with the how his character is right now and the screen time he's getting. Yeah, Cody doesn't need the belt. Honestly, he doesn't need the belt. I think the story of Cody chasing the title and it being the ghost that he's running after is enticing enough to honestly never have him win the belt. I'm just being real. Because, look, bro, I value the champion and the fighting champion at that. But Cody's character, he's the biggest star in the company right now, outside of like the obvious names like Roman, CM Punk, Seth, whatever. Cody's the biggest guy. Roman's not there. Who's next? It's Cody Rhodes. And he doesn't even have a belt. You know, Seth Rollins is not far behind. WWE's in a real good spot right now where they have guys like Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins at the top of the fucking mountain. So I don't really... This idea that Roman needs to drop the belt at WrestleMania and it has to be Cody. Like, that idea is not really... You know, how amazing would it be for Randy to win the belt one more time and then Randy to, you know, maybe betray Cody and then Randy and Cody fight, you know, the legacy storyline. That could be just as good of a story. Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, Randy is a traitor. Randy is a cheater. Randy's going to do what Randy wants to do for however he wants to do it. Now, is it ideal? Would you want to see the biggest name outside of Roman and Cody Rhodes face the biggest name in all of wrestling? Well, not right now in this moment in time, but for a while he was. Yeah, seeing Roman Reigns versus Cody is like The Rock and Stone Cold, two of the biggest names in that modern generation or whatever. So it's not that it's not like something I wouldn't want to see. It's a great matchup. It's the best of both worlds colliding, but it's not a do or die. And plus, The Rock didn't beat Stone Cold till their third match, and The Rock was already out of WWE at that point. So if we're going to take it and really look at history and how history played out, Cody doesn't have to beat Roman till like the third or fourth match, if anything. Because that one win can outweigh all the losses that he ever had against him. That's it. And for CM Punk, to circle back to the Royal Rumble conversation, the reason why I want to see CM Punk win the Rumble, bro, honestly, is not just hype of like him returning. It's because he never won it. And when he won the world title off of being Money in the Bank, WWE didn't give him the recognition he deserved at that time. He was a paper champion. The world, the big gold, guys. I'm talking about the Ric Flair belt, the WCW Booker T belt. I'm not talking about the WWE title. And even then, he didn't even main event most of those shows he was a part of. So I just want Punk's final run to be a Cinderella ending. It's so frustrating as a fan to see what happened in AEW. And if he's not going to beat Seth Rollins, which that's a toss-up. He doesn't have to beat Seth Rollins either. But if he's not going to beat Seth Rollins, let him have the Rumble victory. How sweet would it feel as a Punk fan to see him win that? That's almost like winning a title. You know, winning the Rumble is almost like winning a belt. And it guarantees that he's going to main event night one of WrestleMania at the bare minimum. And I agree with Busted Open Radio, which is Bubba Ray Dudley, what he said. He said that match could be almost bigger than Roman versus Cody Rhodes. Seth versus CM Punk. That could literally be, you know, the closing match. That it could be worthy of it. So how could you pass up on this opportunity to you know, and to do right by the fans too? That we wanted that to happen for Punk for so long. It's, you know, just to never have him as the premier guy is just, it's kind of laughable, dog. You know, and I feel like he was finally gonna get the premier guy story with Collision because AEW created a whole ass Saturday show for him. I feel like Punk always had to be a team player, and it's just a little frustrating. He always had to put over the next guy. Remember, he didn't defend Randy Orton punted his head and he had to drop the title. It's just this guy. It's just annoying when you look back at his career. Like, yeah, he's had a good Hall of Fame career already, but it's a little annoying that it's all like, it's not like all clear cut. Like, there was always something that was annoying. Holy shit, this dude just pulled up. 100% that match could be bigger. 2025, Roman could lose now. You know, and at the same time of me saying that he was screwed, he also had a successful career in general. You know, tag team champion, world champion, WWE champion, main event in multiple pay-per-views, had posters, cover of the video game, you know, had a massive pay raise with his final contract with the company. I mean, they took care of him to a degree, and he wouldn't be the CM Punk that we know and love today if it wasn't for that run in WWE, right? So they did give him the stage to go off. But it was always like, almost like he was always held back on a leash. It wasn't always like, all right, man, go out there and do your thing. We trust you. And I feel like now with the people in charge that they have, I feel like you could see that being more of a possibility now more than ever. And we saw a little bit of that towards the end of his run in WWE because they did give him the benefit of the doubt. They, you know, he got frustrated and he wanted to write his own program. They gave him a lot towards the end, and he just was fed up at that point. It was too late. He needed to take a break. He needed out. But I don't think that's going to be the problem anymore. Just with the way that management is now, it's a whole different ball game. So I know you guys already mentioned her a couple times, but I'll go and mention Sasha Banks. If CM Punk came back, Sasha Banks could most certainly return. Especially with how much Triple H loves her. And for all the Sasha Banks lovers out there, one of the biggest things that held her back was injuries. She was injured a lot. You be seeing Ryback's TikToks about Punk. I've seen some. He calls him Fragile Phil. Ryback is a mystery to me, bro, because I think that, like, if you talk to Ryback in person, I feel like he'll be the first to tell, like, Booker T and all these guys. I feel like he'll be the first to say, "Oh no, that was just a shoot, brother. That was just a joke. I was just trying to troll the wrestling community. You know how they are. I was just trying to put over my creatine or my you know, my milkshake or whatever the hell he's selling, because that's all he always does. Every time he says like some nasty shit, it's always to promote his business. So I don't know if that's the angle that he'll play with these grown men, but he's talked so much. And like what I said about Chris Jericho, it applies to Ryback 10 times over. Ryback is a guy that WWE shot to the moon, bro. They shot him straight to the top. As green as grass, and he was at the top of the card. And, you know, they treated him better than freaking Zack Ryder. And this guy has nothing but bad things to say. I think that he is a little jealous. I think he's very bitter. And I just don't see how much stock he has left in his brand. I mean, this guy is what? Let me see how old he is. I know he's not a spring chick. It's funny. His shit says he's a professional wrestler and YouTuber. Well, he's 42 years old, so he still has some years left in the tank. But after
in the server room with Bozo.
Yeah, in the server room, indeed.
Doing mukbangs.
Yeah, that's that's all he's trying to do, push his social media stuff. So I don't know, man. I think he's been very toxic to the wrestling community. I think he's, instead of being a positive force, a lot of people I looked up to him at some point in time. He came from Tough Enough. He came in through NXT. You know, what was his name? Skip Sheffield was his old name. I liked him, dog. The big guy. I liked everything about him. I bought his shirt, the Feed Me More stuff. I always got goosebumps when he came out and the crowd was always all over it. Like, he's just he's trying to emulate the toxicity that the wrestling community has. But what I hate is that, like, I've never seen a magician sit there with a straight face telling his audience that it's okay, magic is fake anyways. Like, I've never seen, like, David Blaine or David Copperfield or, you know, any of the leading magicians, any street magicians from the internet, or I've never seen them say to the crowd, well, guys, thank you for watching. What you guys saw here is all fake. I actually did all these tricks with a string that I had in my pocket. You know, magicians take pride in being an illusionist and being...
Chris Angel.
Exactly, Chris Angel, another one worth mentioning. You know, these guys take pride in being illusionists and being, you know, kind of professors of the mystery. Damn, my mic is cutting out. Do you guys hear me?
Yeah.
My mic. Yo. You guys hear
What's
me?
wrong with your mic, bro? What's wrong with your mic?
I don't know what the hell's
Your
going
mic's
on.
acting up. Oh, it's working now.
It's working?
Yeah, your mic works fine now. Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, the chat
Yeah,
says
you're
that they
good,
can
you're
hear.
good.
Oh, okay.
No, you're perfect. Don't worry about it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so Ryback, what I was saying about Ryback is just like, you know, I've never seen a magician say with a straight face, oh yeah, you know, what I did out there today, that I levitated, that shit's all garbage. That's all fake. It doesn't mean anything. And that's what Ryback does. Ryback literally sits there and says, oh yeah, wrestling is fake. The title's just a piece of metal. We're just actors. You know, you guys, you fans are idiots. You guys that think you're smart marks. Like, all that bullshit that he says, it's just like, come on, dude. Have some integrity, you know? Have some... I don't know. Like, you don't have to be super righteous like John Cena. John Cena's a freaking robot. But... I don't know. I feel like for Ryback to redeem himself, I said this before. Once he's healthy and he's ready to return to wrestling, I think he needs to go like on a world tour of like proving himself, proving his worth. He's still mad he never got a championship back then? I know, but he sounds like a crybaby. Why would they have put the belt on him? I believe CM Punk when CM Punk said in the Colt Cabana, you know, that big Colt Cabana podcast that he was bitching and whining. He said that he had to put over Ryback and that Ryback almost injured his back because he fucked up one of the moves. Ryback is a wrestler, a sellout for hating on wrestling. I don't think he hates on wrestling. He hates on the fans that are toxic, but he's worse than some of the toxic fans. You seen the tweet about the wrestling code making the backstage areas interactive? Yeah, bro, and I put it on Discord and you didn't reply. I think it's hilarious that they're asking about the backstage area at the end of 2023. That only tells me that the game is ages away from dropping. Ryback got too big too fast? Exactly. And it got to his head. His big ass egghead. Lex, you need to watch the new Percy Jackson. It just came out, bro. Relax. Let a couple episodes rack up. Who said I wasn't going to watch it? I watched the movies. I own the movies. Ryback versus Goldberg retirement match? Yeah, that's what he wants. I'm kind of pissed off that Goldberg didn't get his retirement run. I always wanted to see what his run was going to look like, him versus Bobby Lashley, for what Bobby Lashley did to his son.
1950.
I feel like they left that storyline open and they never went back to it. Do I like the Hunger Games? Yep. I love the new one. Lex, I gotta ask you, did you get your name from the legend himself, Lex Luger? Yeah, Tristan. I sure did. LexxExpress was the bus that he rode on around the United States, petitioning to get a title match. What up, Steven? Was you a fan of Super Crazy and the Hurricane? No. Thought the Hurricane was funny. I've always liked funny characters. I've always enjoyed the comedic stuff in wrestling. But I was never like, oh yeah, this guy is so amazing, he needs to win the title. Or, oh yeah, I want to see, like, perfect example is like R-Truth, for example. I love R-Truth. I would love to see more segments of him and stuff like that. Kind of like what they used to do with Hurricane and shit. But I never needed for him to have a belt or any crazy story. And they, you know, the Judgment Day storyline they got going on with him is freaking awesome. But I never really needed that, you know? I like him as like a... I like when they use him as like a background characterization, like with the 24/7 title. I thought that was genius. So you were a fan of Santino? Oh man, I love Santino. I think Santino should go into the WWE Comedy Hall of Fame for WWE.
Is there a Comedy Hall of Fame?
Yeah, like the WWE, like, you know, WWE has a celebrity wing. They have like a Legends wing, and then they have the Ultimate Warrior Award, where they just recognize like warrior, you know.
Yeah, like this one. What's this black dude's name?
Yeah, Titus O'Neil. Yeah, just for being a good person and stuff and leading by example and all that stuff. So like I feel like WWE should open one for comedy and do one for, like, I think R-Truth is the first ballot Hall of Famer in that regard. I think Santino Marella, like Honky Tonk Man. The Hurricane was the longest cruiserweight champion ever, I think. Yeah, I think that was in WCW, wasn't it? I know he's famously known for, he said on a tweet one time that the day WWE signed him, they changed his name and changed his gimmick all on the same show. And that he was able to survive.
Hurricane coming through.
You know, because as I got older and I did research on him, Hurricane Helms is actually Shane Helms or whatever, and he was actually a good wrestler and was a pretty good name outside of WWE. WWE got him and turned him to a joke. But I mean, his Hurricane character is iconic and will forever be remembered, bro. So I think that he's immortal regardless, one way or another. Like, what's up with that? I loved when he would do that. You know, if you're able to... Damn, that was fast. If you're able to work or be in a place like WWE and be remembered through eternity, or for whatever, you know, for extended amount of time. Like, how long has Hurricane been retired and he still gets talked about till this day? You get me?
Yeah, and the Rock always call him the Hamburglar.
Yeah, the Hamburglar. Yeah, because he looked like the McDonald's guy. You know, It's something that holds its own value. You know, and let's be honest, he wasn't a joke like Gilbert. He was an original joke.
Or Ellsworth.
Yeah, or Ellsworth. That's Brian's favorite wrestler, Mr. Chinless. James Ellsworth. He's the biggest dickhead. He would come out with Carmella and shit. He came out dressed like if he was like a pimp daddy or some shit. With the hat backwards. Him and AJ Styles actually had a feud.
He's still wrestling and like house gigs and shit.
Oh yeah, of course he is. He's milking that name, dog. And it was all because the crowd loved him. They brought him into job. Remember, I think to Braun Strowman, and the internet loved him. So Vince McMahon brought him back. They flew him out and shit. So Lex, would you like to see Rob Van Dam, Val Venus, or X-Pac in the 2024 Royal Rumble match?
No.
Rob Van Dam, yes. X-Pac will be alright, but Val Venus definitely not really. Why Val Venus though? That was kind of random.
I'd just rather see Steve Blackman.
I almost spit out my lemonade. Oh my god. The way that you said it though, like rolling your eyes, saying I'd rather see Steve Blackman. Yeah, Steve Blackman to me was so significant. Then you look back in time.
But Tajiri.
Oh, Tajiri. Well, yeah, bro. Now that they're doing right by the Japanese superstars, Tajiri coming out would be freaking perfect with the mist and shit. Him and Shinsuke Nakamura having a stare down would be iconic. They just start like, and you know that Tajiri was known for the green mist. I mean, so Shinsuke with the red mist, and Tajiri with the green mist. They just missed each other up. That would be so, like, so predictable, right? If they were to do that. All signs point at Sasha Banks returning to WWE. I just don't know why you guys never thought that she would return. You guys are acting like if she was like exiled or something. She walked out on the company because she didn't like the way they were using her. How many other times have we seen wrestlers walk out on the company before? She was not the first and she's not the last, bro. I don't know. That doesn't surprise me at all, honestly. Especially now with new management and Triple H being 100% in charge of creative. Dude, rest assured, the people that say that they don't care about WWE and they don't want to be sports entertainer they're just like that because they're fine with, you know, not being the prototype or the standard, so to speak. They think that being like an AEW or Indies and being able to do whatever they want, like that to them is what's enticing, and there's nothing wrong with that. People need to understand that there's nothing wrong with that. That's like for John Moxley, for example, who's having a blast in AEW, and rightfully so. AEW, they treat John Moxley like John Cena. You know, he wouldn't be that in WWE. He'd be another character in WWE, and in AEW, he's like prominent John Cena. And not to say that he wouldn't be on top of the world in WWE, because he'd still be at the top of the card. But I mean, look at Drew McIntyre, bro. Drew McIntyre in AEW would be a world champion in the flip of a switch. Who looks more like a freaking world champion? As great as Ricky Starks is, and as much as I love him, who looks more like a world champion? Drew McIntyre or Ricky Starks? You know, and Ricky Starks has all the swagger in the world. So I'm not trying to knock on him, but it's just, it is what it is, man. WWE is like saying the NBA, the MLB, NFL, like everybody dreams of being at WrestleMania, and whoever says that they don't, they're liars. You know, and I watched All In, and I enjoyed All In. Even though I had a lot of tag matches, I thought that the show overall was really good and it was a fun watch. And guess what? It still didn't feel like WrestleMania, and it was in an open arena, large crowd, everybody was into it. It didn't feel like WrestleMania. Only WWE could give you WrestleMania because they are WrestleMania. And the formula that they have it down. It's like a science. They have it down, bro. AEW takes pride in being like ECW and New Japan. Matt Cardona loves what he's doing. Oh, come on. He's making a killing. He's working whenever he wants, however he wants. He has the creative freedom. He doesn't have to have the pressure of cutting a promo on national TV. He just shows up, goes to work, gets paid. And especially him, who he's had every belt in like every company he stepped foot in. Matt Cardona is the perfect example of like you could still find success outside of WWE. You don't have to, but rest assured, Matt Cardona is a WWE lifer. Like this guy, I don't care what he tells me or what he says in an interview, or this guy would love to be in WrestleMania and love to be in a prominent role at WrestleMania. If WWE could present him that offer, he will take that shit in a heartbeat, eyes closed. Now, if WWE tells him, hey, we want you to come back as Zack Ryder and we want you to be a bottom feeder, he's not going to do it, obviously. But Matt Cardona, if he had his way, he'd be in WWE right now and he'd be competing against Seth Rollins. What was your all-time favorite WWE DVD? Man, good question. I really love the one with The Rock and John Cena that it was called Once in a Lifetime, because it literally just it followed The Rock and his return to wrestling, and it followed John Cena and his gripe with The Rock. And I felt like it was like the perfect show, the perfect storm colliding. So that was a really good one that stands out. But if you're talking about like compilation that they've ever released like that, I don't know. I had to kind of sit and think about that one. I like the NWO one too. The NWO one was really cool. Bray Wyatt to the WWE Hall of Fame. It seems like that's the route they're taking. Classy move on their end. I'm not gonna really talk too much about that, but I would have
You hate talking about it.
I hate it. I really do. I don't, because I think he deserves it, but it's just everyone's beating it into the ground. No, I was never a fan of ECW or WCW. I was WWF, and to me, nothing else existed. I didn't know better.
Yeah, same with me.
And I don't have a problem saying that. I don't have a problem saying that at all. I think that one of the biggest things in like today's generation and world with social media and shit, like people are afraid to say that they love WWE because wrestlers like Mox and other wrestlers like that are like, oh yeah, that's not pro wrestling, and that's that they do sports entertainment over there. We're doing real pro wrestling. All right, bro. Like I see that and it just makes me roll my eyes so hard, and I'm over it. I enjoy like the TNAs and the AEWs and shit like that too, in dosages. But to me, it's like I know what I like. I like big production. I like larger than life stories and brands and gimmicks like that. And WWE delivers that. So you don't like every form of pro wrestling? That's not what I said. I think WWE is the purest form of pro wrestling because it exaggerates what makes pro wrestling to me. For some people, they like pro wrestling because they love the blood and guts, and they love oh yeah, well, fuck you, we're hardcore. Everyone's Stone Cold Steve Austin, and we all drink beer. And we're all rednecks, and we all ride ATVs into the sunset. It's the same character. It's the same like lawnmower storyline, and to me, it's like what's and I'm gonna use it in this term, and wrestling. The workers, right? The workers, they don't like using the term fake, but I gotta use it in this argument or this debate, if you will. To me, I just don't see the pride in getting a thumbtacks and putting it on the floor for the sake of pain on a fake story that, so unnecessary. I like the ballet. I like the dance. I like the characters involved to have some kind of significant connection. And perfect example, bro. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. Listen to the names I'm gonna drop: The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, The Rock, Triple H, Stone Cold. Like Triple H has so many of those matches that I love. And all those matches have in common one thing and one thing only. They're not really bloody. They're not really super destructive. And they had nothing to do with thumbtacks. But for whatever reason, everybody gets like this massive giant boner when these, like, I like the tables. Yes, I like when they go through the tables. I think that's very dope. I like the chair shots every so often. You know, I enjoy some of the, you know, the extracurricular activities. But I like it when it's meaningful. Like when Triple H went to Randy Orton's house and he threw him through the window. That shit to me was amazing. You know, or like backstage segments when guys hate each other so much. Like I would love to see CM Punk in a backstage segment with Seth Rollins and they're just fighting all over the arena. You know, that and there's just a lot of bad blood and, you know, in that case, yeah. But not every match calls for that, bro. And the biggest misconception in the industry, in my opinion, is that they utilize that as the main arc in the story versus the characters being the main arc in the story. You catch what I'm saying? It doesn't. Not every match calls for that.
It'd be like Butters on South Park. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just. Bro, perfect example. Look, you said Macho Man. Like Macho Man. Like who was Macho Man, dog? Just this larger than life character. What
Cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop. What was his finisher? An elbow drop from the top rope.
Oh yeah.
Come on. That's what I like. Those big characters that are brands.
Snap to a Slim Jim.
That's why do you think I like LA Knight? Bro, LA Knight is all talk, bro. LA Knight is all talk. And he punches you with exaggerated punches. He kicks you with exaggerated kicks. And he makes it look like it's the end of the world. And he's barely even hitting you.
What about yeet? Yeet.
I love it. Love it. That to me is like, that gives me more of a boner than seeing guys get dropped on thumbtacks. I'm not saying that I didn't like Mick Foley and Undertaker having the thumbtack and that death match or whatever, if you will, you know. Hold on, I gotta back up with the party. Hold on, let me get Shiesty in here. You know, it's not to say that I don't enjoy that from time to time, dog, but there's just some stories that need that. If you watch AEW, they act like every other story on the card needs that. Oh, wow, these guys really hate each other. Oh, fuck it. Hardcore match. Pretty much. Oh my God, Swerve Scott and Hangman Adam Page are fighting to see who's the next #1 contender. These guys really hate each other. Fuck it. Texas Death Match coming right up. And I'm like, all right. Okay. I mean,
That's what Ace loves.
Go ahead. Get a freaking what is it? A fork. Get a fork and pitch your eye out. All of a sudden, everybody loves that shit.
Ace loves that shit.
Shane McMahon hits people with exaggerated punches. Love Shane McMahon. Love coast to coast with the trash can. That is like ultimate boner galore.
Dun, 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 dun.
You know, I'm not saying that what my taste in wrestling is the best. I'm not saying that it's the only kind. I'm not saying that. I just think that WWE does a good job tapping into those things from time to time. Now, I will say this. I think WWE should kind of loosen up a little bit, add a little more stipulations. That's something that I do miss from like the Attitude Era, where big matches and pay-per-views had stipulations more often times. But they've been treating us pretty good, you know, with the tables and the chairs, and they do the Elimination Chamber. I love the concept of the Elimination Chamber. They've been doing like the Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch match, one of the best matches of the year. You know, they had the cage match, and you know, every so often they do the Hell in the Cell stuff. I love the Money in the Bank ladder matches, so they're still giving us, you know, stipulations from time to time. It's just not as often as maybe we would desire to have it. Like, I love that John Cena was the special. Bro, you guys have no idea. When I went to Payback and I was able to be there to see that. You know what's funny? Oddly enough, that's the second time in my life that I've seen John Cena in person as a special guest referee. I saw him be the special guest referee for Wade Barrett versus Randy Orton in Survivor Series. And then I got to see him do it with LA Knight and The Miz. So I like the special guest referee stuff. I like the little cheese that comes with those stories. Lex, pro wrestling got multiple genres. You act like everything gotta be WWE. Pro wrestling is pro wrestling, dude. That's why I said this earlier. There's different styles within pro wrestling, but you're using the wrong terminology. It's not different genres. AEW existed for the sole purpose of being an alternative. Yeah, but you're saying that now because of the conversation we're having, but people in AEW don't want to be an alternative. People in AEW want to beat WWE. They want to be the top dog. Tony Khan says that they beat WWE in some places. So don't give them the little puppy dog, pat on the back, give my dog a bone. Saif, are you joining us or no? Tristan said AEW is indie garbage. I don't think it's indie garbage. Yes, it is a genre. Bruh, fans like the hardcore and sports vibe to it. Who says that WWE doesn't have a sports vibe? What's the purpose of having a champion? Hold on, I gotta hear this. They literally say sports entertainment. Do you understand what WWE stands for, or do I have to spell it out for you? It's called World Wrestling Entertainment. Not in comparison to AEW, but in comparison to what? AEW, all they do is bite ECW and New Japan Wrestling. What are you talking about? WWE literally created their own lane. AEW has yet to do that. So what are you talking about? No one in the history of wrestling in any company, in any format, has done the Royal Rumble like WWE. Anyone who's done it after has copied them. They took the Battle Royale and took it up a notch. How about the Elimination Chamber, which I think Eric Bischoff actually created that for WWE. No one has the structure of the Elimination Chamber or the concept of that. No one has the Survivor Series concept either. And now they're using War Games, which was created by Dusty Rhodes. It's a genre? No, it's a style. How is it do you know what genre means? Dude, you're acting like these are different sports. Everyone is playing the same game here. Just because there's different rules in the Euro League than the NBA or the World Cup or the FIBA, whatever, it doesn't mean that it's not basketball, bozo. The sport is basketball. Educate me? Yeah. UFC is mixed martial arts, same as what's the other company, Brian? I always forget the
Bellator?
Bellator. Yeah, no, it's a different genre. No, it's the same sport. It's mixed martial arts. Everybody there fights different styles. There's boxing, there's judo, there's jiu-jitsu, and there's wrestling. It's a different style. It's a different match type. It's not a
kickboxing.
Kickboxing, yeah. I don't understand how you would say that it's a different genre. That shit's mind-blowing to me. Now, it's comparable to movies that you could say they're... And not even then, because wrestling is all about the drama and the characters in the ring. All right, so same logic applies. Thank you for proving my point. It ain't just styles. It's a whole genre that caters to certain fans. No, it's not. It's a style. Drama wrestling, aka WWE, is a genre? Oh my god. No way. You must be from Mongolia.
Oh shit.
Yo, Jalen, you left? What happened to Jalen?
I have no idea.
I thought Shiesty was gonna come. That's why. Whatever. I guess we'll keep going. Sports base, aka New Japan. It's a genre. Brian, can you help me out here? Cause I know that you're very good at explaining stuff.
No, you said it perfect. Styles, different styles of wrestling, and like that shit doesn't even need explaining. Everybody like, you can Google different styles of wrestling. When I say lucha libre,
Yeah.
right? Mexican wrestling. What's wrestling? They do they have the mask. They're more aerial. They have more air assaults and whatever. If you go to Japan, their style is more like shoot wrestling. Where
Yeah,
like
strong style.
The strong style is more like
Hold on.
shots.
I almost choked on my lemonade again. It's literally called strong style, not strong genre.
Yeah, exactly.
He wrote Lucha Libre is a genre
every region
too.
has its own style.
Every region. It's even been used in WWE documentaries. Like WWE has produced documentaries. There's been documentaries done on wrestling in general, wrestling.
And then on top of that, you can tell where the wrestlers train that depending on their styles. Like if you look at Lita, I don't even think Lita's fucking. Is she fucking Hispanic or anything like that?
Amy Dumas, I think she is. I think she does talk Spanish.
She trained in Mexico, which is why she came to WWE doing all those fucking flips and shit. Like
Yeah,
that.
and she came with like Eddie Guerrero and shit.
It's literally a style.
Yeah, it's literally a style. Dog, that's like saying music.
Ninja Turtles?
Well, music has different styles of music. There's jazz, there's rap, hip hop, you know.
No, but
Right.
you don't even have to say
R&B.
no. Now that's going into genre.
Well, because that's more like movies.
More styles is like if you take rap, there's different styles of rap.
Okay, yes,
So
there you go.
You got conscious
Yes.
rap, you got mumble
Trap.
rap, you got trap rap, you got drill rap, and
Yes.
it's all hip hop,
Yes.
is all whatever, but it's all different.
Yes, there you go. That's where I was trying to head because yeah, you're right. Because music
you got
is
gangster
comparable to
rap,
movies.
You got all that shit.
Exactly. So okay. Let me look at this from a different point of view here. You mean to tell me that it's a genre, Ace? So you mean to tell me that WWE is not pro wrestling? Because WWE is drama. Yet you mean to tell me that Lucha Libre is a genre because it's not WWE, because WWE is drama. So they're different. Because WWE is drama, Lucha Libre is more aerial, and that's their genre, for argument's sake. How does that even make any sense here? Because the company, the WWE again, stands for World Wrestling Entertainment. They're called sports entertainers. They're superstars. What makes wrestling, pro wrestling, which is, in quotations, another word for describing scripted fights. What makes wrestling is the drama. No one watches wrestling for the actual fight. We've had this conversation before. If I want to watch a real fight, I'm going to watch a boxing match or a mixed martial arts match. That's not what Cody wanted for AEW when it first started. He wanted AEW to be sports-based, which is, oh my goodness. He wanted it to lean in more into the sports element than the entertainment element. Understandable. Yes. But that's the style. It's not the genre. The genre is pro wrestling, which is WWE. It's a form of entertainment. It's scripted fights. Some fans watch it for the fight. Yeah, little kids that don't know that it's fake. Dude, you're literally watching a man soap opera. It's a novella. There's love triangles. There's guys chasing titles and rankings. There's guys chasing respect. There's guys there's always a motive. That's what ties two characters together to leave it all in the ring. New Japan, for example, main selling point, and the New Japan fans don't want to hear it, sells on the matches. No, we had the same exact conversation. How do we circle back to the same conversation? Dog, you mean to tell me that everyone in New Japan is dressed with, the guy against the blue corner is dressed in blue shorts and the guy in the red corner is wearing red corner? Oh my god, now look at Carter going into Dumbo mode. It's not fake, Lex. They really do slam each other. Holy shit. I'm using it for argument purposes, bro. I don't believe that wrestling is fake because obviously they get physical.
Connected?
Yeah, let me start it again. Obviously they get physical. Obviously, bro. Holy snap. Do I really need to write it down like the alphabet or what? No, that ain't what I'm saying. Dude, if people were to watch it for the fight and that's it, then they would be doing what they do in MMA and in boxing. Whereas if somebody wears blue shorts, the other one wears red shorts, they wear the same trunks and they fight. Because they don't need to have characterization. They don't need to wear a mask. They don't need to come out looking flamboyant. They don't need to wear... You understand what I'm saying here, bro? Yo, who's the... I think it... Let me see.
You are?
It's a glitch right now. Let me give it to... Let's see. I think it's jacked. All right, check now, Brian. See if
it says it's locked.
Yeah, Shiesty, I don't think you have you don't have the game installed because it's not letting us start it. That's why it blocked it. Well, what's wrong with UFC not having characters or gimmicks? Same bullshit. Oh my god.
I'm gonna go. Hold on. No.
Shiesty, you got him.
Restarted.
He says he's gonna restart. What are we even arguing about here? WWE and AEW are both sports entertainment genre? Bro, not even. They're just pro wrestling. That's the word for it. Oh, you're replying to the guy? Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm going to restart it too. Not you? Alright, gotcha, Barry. Dude, yes, I'll watch UFC, but what's wrong with including that element in pro wrestling? That it's scripted! That's like saying that you watch the Marvel Avenger movies to see a real superhero. You watch the Marvel Avenger movies because you want to see the superhero storyline. You want to see the drama in it. The action. You watch the action in wrestling, but because you're following the characters. I didn't say UFC shouldn't. Connor is a good example. He's an Irish version of Ric Flair. Oh my god. Dog.
I don't know. I'm confused. Did we move past the whole style stuff?
I don't know. He's really like, I don't even know where he's at right now. I'm just saying it's a genre in terms of how different they are with styles involved. It's a lot more than a style. No, my guy, it's not a lot more than pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is pro wrestling, all right? Pro wrestling in AEW is pro wrestling in WWE.
It's all pro wrestling, bro.
It's all the same sport. Pro wrestling. That's what they're called.
It's not that fucking complicated. NBA and Euro basketball is basketball.
They have different styles, different rules, but it's basketball. It's the same sport. I don't think it's I just can't believe we're stuck on this conversation here. Same sport. I'm gonna do the LeBron and walk out. No, it's that you're not even gonna do the LeBron because LeBron is cool. You ain't being cool. You're being a bozo. You're gonna say you're gonna do the J.R. Smith and get hit in the head with the ball. Dog, you just sound ridiculous. So when you said that AEW wanted to take pride in being an alternative, they wanted to be an alternative in the same sport. They wanted to be an alternative option within pro wrestling, they wanted to offer fans the option to see a different style. If they wanted to be in a different genre, then they'd be playing cricket or be playing something else. They'd be playing football because it's a different sport. I've never seen someone so stuck on something so loud and proudly wrong. And Ace, I appreciate you having these conversations. I really do, because you're giving me a lot of content here, and you bring out the passion in me. But truth of the matter is, bro, I mean, if you want to put it that way, I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's just one of one. It's pro wrestling. Listen to any pro wrestler. You could go from the game Triple H to John Moxley. They all refer to it as the same thing. They say, oh, it's different styles of pro wrestling. They're sports entertainer, and we're pro wrestling. That's what they take pride in AEW. They want to be everybody there is shooting for a 5-star match. They're all going for the barn burners. Shiesty, trust me, bro. It's worth it. All right, so I think that we finally found some common sense here. I wanted to what I was trying to say earlier was that, to me, WWE always had the perfect balance, because at WrestleMania or a pay-per-view or what have you, they will give you the 5-star Gunther versus, Chad Gable on a Monday Night Raw.
And then they'll give you a bras and panty match.
Exactly. And they'll give you a bras and panty match in the same card, or a mud match, or whatever. That, to me, is what created this immense amount of entertainment, where it made it feel like there is nothing else on planet Earth that could provide that. Real or not, scripted or not, written or not, whatever the case, I felt like they had the perfect blend of circus meets sports. And I absolutely got obsessed with that. So when I go watch a show like AEW, there is sports entertainment in there. Rest assured, they are definitely doing TV programming with the idea of drama behind every storyline. That's literally what WWE is. But they tend to lean in a lot into the ECW, not even ECW, but the New Japan, ECW, hardcore elements or whatever, and they end up stripping some stories for the sake of having dream matches from whoever the hell. Someone that's not even from their company. I never heard anyone say genres and wrestling in the same sentence. Exactly. It's always styles. For me personally, I like watching the combat matches, but that's me, and it's cool. If you don't, I'm just saying it's all available for everyone. So you must love Brock Lesnar then, huh?
Oh, I love him.
Damn, this one was fast. You must love Brock Lesnar. He's pure combat.
I love Brock Lesnar.
And it's not a bad thing if they want to stay where they're at. Yes, it is. It is a very bad thing if AEW wants to stay where they're at. Guess what? Because they're capped out already. In order to evolve, they need to diversify the product. Simple as that. I'm not saying they have to copy WWE. They need to figure themselves out. I've said this time in and time out. I've had this conversation a million times on stream. If AEW wants to grow, they need to grow.
Tony Khan doesn't know how to make stories.
Exactly. And he's not hiring the right people to help him make stories. There's a reason why I don't mind watching tournaments like the Continental Classic and G1. It goes away from the typical entertainment we get. It keeps the respect within. The respect within? What are you talking about? My guy, it's pretty much the same thing that WWE did in NXT with the tournament that they did for the Cup. WWE literally did that with their eyes closed in NXT, and they're doing right now not similar, but they're doing another tournament on SmackDown for the US title. WWE does tournaments like every so often to keep respect within the division. To put it in your terms. Lex, why do you waste your time arguing? No, we're not arguing, bro. We're first and foremost, this is more of a one-sided conversation here. Because what he's saying has no merit. It's not an opinion. What I'm mixing my opinion on what I like, and I'm bringing it to this case because he's bringing his opinion into something that's factual. Like he's having a whole conversation by himself about something that's what he says is his opinion on how he views it, but it's not a fact. If AEW was leaning into the drama behind every story, they would have made the CM Punk situation a storyline. Not only that,
Well, Vince would have done.
oh, Vince would have done that and more. Not only that, but they would just have they would capitalize a lot better in creating blending. They blend real life with pro wrestling, but they don't capitalize on it the right way. They still haven't, gotten there. Look, man, I'm just glad AEW exists because had they not been alive, WWE would be the same as it was years ago. Yes, but no. Yes, but no. That's not true. WWE has always evolved. Now, have they gotten better? Have they wanted to step their game up? Sure, I'll admit to that. I do like that AEW is around because it's created a healthy ecosystem for these people to find work elsewhere and for there to be an alternative fandom and an alternative brand in general. Yes, so I agree to what you're saying with what you're saying. I do agree, but not fully. Not fully because WWE has been around long enough to see these companies come and go. And they've done it by taking them down themselves by buying them out or letting them fade away like TNA. So AEW is not the first startup. They're the first company outside of WWE to cross $1 million gate. Kudos to them. But that's not like enough of an excuse for you to say, oh yeah, I'm glad they're around because it's made WWE evolve. No, that's just because even with all the evolution that WWE has done, you still tend to you go harder on them and you bash them and you're more critical and you give them shit for stuff that you don't want to give them a pass on, but you give AEW tons of passes. So you're being hypocritical with that statement. I've talked to you and had these back and forths with you long enough to realize that. I think AEW has tons of potential still. I think that they have the ceiling is they're not even they shouldn't even feel capped out. But if they're going to continue to be what you say that you want them to continue to be, then they're just never going to grow. Bro, you've never been to an AEW show. You admitted that to me a while ago. I've already been to 2. I take pride in that because I've supported them. I've purchased merch. You haven't even bought the AEW Fight Forever game. I already bought the game twice.
I got it. I don't even watch wrestling at the moment.
Exactly. I support AEW. My way. I know you watch all their shows, and I know you steal their pay-per-views and bootleg them and shit. I get it. You watch the product a lot more than I do, which means a lot because you're more well-informed with everything they do and all their moves and all that. I respect it. But I'm telling you what I'm telling you because this is coming from a fan that likes the mainstream cheese and that likes the big production, big budget stuff. AEW has a big budget, and they're just not spending it right. Why? Because they got stagnant. They've plateaued for no reason. Bro, they have an amazing roster. Super talented roster. Why are they getting these wrestlers and having them play the same gimmicks that they played in WWE or whatever?
No direction, no leadership.
Exactly. What has Cesaro done in AEW that's so much better than what he did in WWE? Please. I'd argue circles around that conversation. Even what Samoa Joe has done, as long of a reigning TV champion as he was, he literally dropped the belt because he says he didn't want to have that belt anymore. He wanted to go for the main belt. He literally just put it in the middle of the ring and walked out. Samoa Joe had a more significant run in NXT at this point. So what have they done with all the talent that they have? Because I could go down the list. You're trying to level up some guns. Yeah, if you're trying to level up guns, this ain't the mode. But if you're trying to get XP, this was the mode because it's fast. I feel you, though. You're in the struggle. As I already have a lot of guns leveled up, so I don't care. But let's do it. Let's run it. I'm fine. And look, man. I understand that WWE, I mean, that AEW is not fully my cup of tea. I've acknowledged that before. I'll admit that, you know, the reason why I don't like them more is because they just aren't what I'm, you know, used to enjoying. But I've enjoyed a good amount of stuff from them. And I do like MJF. I like, let me see, Darby Allin. You know, I love what they did with Sting there. But there's just so many more people that I wish they did better with. And look, I'm not a hypocrite. I've always bashed WWE for what they did to John Morrison. I've always bashed WWE for what they did to Dolph Ziggler. I've always bashed WWE for the way they've used Karrion Kross before he got fired the first time. I bashed WWE for what they did to Keith Lee. I bashed WWE for Goldberg coming back and fighting for multiple titles, for what they did with Brock Lesnar. Like, I've bashed him endlessly. So when I'm bashing AEW, it's coming from a place of like, I want them to be better. It's not that I'm bashing them to be a troll. Come on, Aleister Black has had, I think, 1 or 2 singles matches, bro. Aleister Black. This guy was like the second coming of, like, you know, Seth Rollins or something. I don't know. Aleister Black is amazing. On the mic, in the ring, character-wise, he's almost like The Undertaker character-wise. You know, so, you know, if you want to give me a little bit of credibility for giving credit, giving AEW positive credit and giving them, you want me to give you my positive notes? I think MJF has been well handled, spectacularly used. I think they had something special going with Wardlow, and I'll leave it at that. I think Wardlow was due for a big, you know, big coming out party, a little undercooked, but, you know, Wardlow could have been, you know, bigger than Ryback. I think Ricky Starks is outstanding. I would love to see that guy in WWE. Darby Allin is modern day Jeff Hardy. Could be even better. I did like Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, and I like Luchasaurus with Christian a lot. I think Christian in AEW has been way better than most of the shit he did in WWE. I thought CM Punk was used pretty solid in AEW. I hate what ended up happening. But I think he was used, you know, I think his wrestling legacy should include AEW in it. I don't think we should forget about what he did there. I think Jon Moxley is the ultimate badass for them and a great leader for them, and I like him, what he's done there to a degree. To me, Daniel Bryan has been a complete bust. To me, Adam Cole has been a complete bust. But Kenny Omega, outside of his title run, has been kind of a bust. I think AEW puts on consistently way better tag matches than WWE does. I'll admit that. I think AEW's tag division is phenomenal. I love AEW's trios tag team titles, even though I think they have way too many titles. One of the guys that I haven't mentioned, Orange Cassidy. I think he's amazing. Who else can I mention? You know, I could praise him. I could. Hangman Adam Page. I liked him for a while. Lately, I haven't really fucked with him like that. Oh, Swerve Strickland, right? That's his name. Swerve Strickland is amazing. I think the game is lacking content. No, but I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about AEW in real life. So, dude, I think I listed a healthy amount of things that I do like and why I even, consider going to their shows. I consider to support them and I've ordered one of their pay-per-views. I have most of their pay-per-views downloaded. I have years worth of pay-per-views downloaded on my hard drive. I have a good amount of their pay-per-views downloaded. I've seen a lot of their matches. Cody versus Goldust, amazing. So what I'm saying comes from a good place. I'm not trying to be that bitter fan. I don't want them to be like WWE, bro. That's the biggest misconception. I don't want them to be like WWE at all. I just hate, like, me and Brian have figured it out. Like, especially Brian brought it to my awareness one time, and I can't unsee it. Everybody in AEW sticks out their middle finger, their tongue out, and everybody wants to be like the badass Stone Cold. Sammy Guevara, Hangman Adam Page, Jon Moxley. They're all like different versions of the same character. I think they crossed the line with drinking their own, like, each other's blood and shit. I think that's too much. To me, there's nothing to be prideful about that. I think AEW has yet to create their own special match that has felt iconic. The ladder match that they have, the brass ring, I think is corny as hell. I know that was probably Cody's idea while he was there. I don't care who created it. I think that it was funny once. I think them doing it continuously, I think they need to cut that shit. Because that's obviously poking fun. Like everything, bro, AEW is basically like everything that they hate about WWE type shit. Like, they want to be anti-WWE so bad and they're so proud of that. I don't get it. That's like, why does the XFL get so much hate? The XFL, the football league, and the Arena Football League, AFL, which they just merged. Why does the XFL get so much hate in comparison to like the NFL and shit? If they're not even trying to be why do they get so much hate and they're trying to be anti-NFL? But AEW doesn't. If any other sports league comes out, like Bellator or whatever, like everybody's like, oh yeah, but it's not UFC. Oh, but it's not the NFL. And I know some people say, oh, but it's not WWE. I know they do, but like, why do the fans...
It's because they're fighting over the same territory. Because the thing is, New Japan doesn't have that same problem as AEW.
At all.
You know?
Yeah.
And then like ONE FC, believe it or not, ONE FC is actually the second biggest promotion in the world. Actually, I think they're the first biggest promotion in the world over UFC because the Asia market. There's more Asians than...
Yeah, the continent and all that is way bigger.
Yes, it's a lot bigger. So ONE FC is a different MMA company, but they're a lot bigger in Asia. And it's just like different markets, but then nobody talks about ONE FC. Everybody talks about UFC and Bellator because they're competing over the same market.
Yeah, and that's where we're from. True. You said it before that you are biased when it comes to WWE. Yeah, because I know what I like. But it doesn't matter what I said before. Listen to what I'm telling you right now. It's not that I want AEW to be WWE. I'm fine with AEW being an alternative. Bro, I used to watch TNA. I used to love what TNA did for a while. He said ONE FC. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think ONE Championship. That's another name for it.
Dude, you all right, let me put an example of what's wrong with AEW. You can't bring in a guy like Sin Cara and have him face who's that guy that he faced on Rampage in Texas? There was like no story, like and the video package for it was cool. I'm not gonna lie, the video package for it was cool. But there's like, I'm not excited to just watch that for the sake. That's like going to a WWE house show, just watching a Rocky Romero. Yeah, like you're just looking at wrestling for the sake of wrestling. That's like going to a house show. WWE does that all the time. Like I tell you this all the time, Ace. If WWE goes to your town and they're doing a house show, visit the house show because you're gonna get exactly what you love about pro wrestling. It's matches just for matches. People come out, they talk on the mic, they call somebody out, they come out, they have their match, and it's a pure barn burner. That's what WWE house shows feel like. When you go to a WWE house show, it feels like you're going to an AEW show. WWE produces those shows on a weekly basis in multiple towns every single week. They bring out tables, ladders, I mean, not ladders, sorry, but they bring out tables and chairs. The crowd gets very rowdy. There's not a lot of people. The wrestlers are talking from their heart to the crowd, connecting. It's the same environment. But AEW produces their shows like that. That's the problem. If you want to watch a 5-star match, bro, you could watch Seth Rollins fight at a house show against Finn Balor, which is the house show that I saw in July. I went to a WWE Super Show in July.
Hey, you told me to this day one of the best matches you ever saw was like Undertaker or somebody in the house show?
Yeah. Undertaker and Batista, one of the best matches I've ever witnessed in person. It was at a house show, the main event for the show I went to. It wasn't televised. And that match wasn't even going on in storyline on TV. I had never even seen Undertaker and Batista on TV during that time period. They didn't even cross paths on TV, but they were fighting at house shows. So it's not even that WWE can produce that type of content because they do it. They produce that type of content for the people in the crowd every single week. It's just that when you're producing a TV show, dog, it's a whole different game. It's a whole different ball game. You can't do that on a weekly basis. I don't have to tune into AEW every week to keep up with what's going on. And you could say the same for WWE, yeah, sure, but it's a lot easier to keep up with AEW without tuning in than it is WWE for sure. Did they pull out any crazy moves? Yeah, bro. Batista and Undertaker used the chairs and shit, like putting them on their arms, and they used the ring post on the outside, and they broke a table. Yeah, bro, they went all out. The last show that I went to was Drew McIntyre versus the Brawling Brutes. Drew McIntyre had a handicap match. It was against Ridge Holland and Butch. And Sheamus was that was when Junior came. That was 2 years ago now. It was it was last year. I'm sorry. Last year, that was last year. They pulled out tables and chairs and they fought all over the ringside and everything. They have barn burners at the house shows. Somebody comes out, Miami, I'm happy to be here. Or like Baron Corbin came out. Oh, this town sucks. I don't even want to wrestle here tonight. Boo, the cheap pop, boo. Oh, I hate you, Baron Corbin, whatever. Or Chris Jericho. I went to the house show that Chris Jericho was at, and he came out and he's like, Miami, I'm not even trying to wrestle here. This town is trash. Nobody here has class. That boo, boo. And then he gets interrupted by the babyface, and the crowd erupts. You know who I saw in person? I saw Drew Gulak versus Baron Corbin. They put a barn burner. Drew Gulak won and got a big ass pop from the crowd. Just because Baron Corbin was putting him over on the mic. Come on, dude. So it's not even to say that I don't like that. I've been in those environments before. I've seen that shit. I'm just saying that I can't stand watching that shit on a weekly basis. That shit gets boring to me. I'm sorry. And they've gotten a little better. I'm not saying that they haven't improved. They just plateaued. And what Brian, to add to what Brian said earlier, that they don't even hire writers. Bro, WWE hires Emmy award winning writers. Now, guys like CM Punk and all these guys take pride on writing their own shit. Yeah, but they have their own production team too. I hope you know that The Rock didn't come up with all the lines he came up with. I hope you guys do understand that. All the fans of The Rock. I hope you guys know that The Rock didn't come up with that by himself.
It doesn't matter what you think.
The Rock actually stole the writer for WWE and made him his like his right-hand man for his production company. Like, he didn't steal it, obviously, but he took him. Vince Russo is part of The Rock's early run. Yeah, I mean, he was just he was a piece of the puzzle. So when people blame Vince McMahon, oh, it's all Vince's fault. Vince is like, everything bad in wrestling is Vince's fault. It's not just Vince McMahon, bro. They have you got to watch the show, the documentaries and the stuff that they've shown when they've showed behind the scenes footage and they've showed the production meetings. It's literally a big ass round table, like in an office building type of environment. And you got Michael Cole, the head announcer. You got referees in there. You got all the head producers. Michael P.S. Hayes, like, you have everybody there. They're all sitting down and they're all pitching ideas, and Vince McMahon is running through the show. Now, what people got frustrated is that Vince changed his mind a lot, and he audibled and changed the show around last minute, which caused a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of people hated that shit. Because he would scrap shit right as the show was going on, and he started doing that more as he got older too. You know, Triple H does more, like, he likes to have things a little more mapped out, to my understanding from what I read. He doesn't really do a lot of last minute changes unless the show is going a certain way and the crowd is not rocking with it or something like that. But from what I've read online, like, Triple H plans accordingly and kind of sticks to the script, which is why people love working with him, because he's very thorough. And he's more welcoming. So, you know, let me ask you this, Ace. Because I know you've been one to, like, go on your little rants. And anybody watching, you could answer. We're all fans of wrestling. What makes Tony Khan more certified than any of us to call the shots on a wrestling production in a weekly basis? What classifies him as the guy? What separates him from us? The house shows have moments and things you won't see on TV. The wrestlers test stuff and have more fun at live events, for sure. Triple H has been a wrestler. Tony Khan has not. Well, I'm comparing him to us, not Triple H, but good point. Lex, just gonna ignore all my comments? No, I'm reading, fool. I'm reading. I'm sticking to what I'm talking about, and then I'll go back. You haven't been in the stream long enough, but I go off.
Vince wasn't a wrestler either.
Yeah, Vince wasn't a wrestler either. No, he wasn't. But hold on, we'll circle to it. You don't think he's certified though? Yeah, but all I said is what makes him certified. So you mean to tell me you don't think he has any kind of certification to run the show, but you vouch for his product endlessly? What makes you want to vouch for him blindly the way that you do on a daily basis, on stream, in the chat, wherever? So whatever. Point is, the difference between Tony Khan and us is money. Simple. He's a fan just like you and me with a lot of money, and he's just doing pretty much whatever the hell he wants. That's what you could do if you had money. That's what I could do if I had money. That's just a fact. Vince McMahon wasn't a wrestler, wasn't a performer, 100%. But Vince McMahon actually worked under his father for many, many years and was in the business for years before he even had a chance to take over and do what he did. And even then, he worked on the commentary team, and he worked in production, and he eased his way into who he became. And it wasn't until, obviously the Monday Night Wars that he really, really reached that next Super Saiyan level. Because when he did WrestleMania 1, he put his whole livelihood on the line to take out everything that he possibly had worthy of anything to put together that show. My boy Lexx is Mike. Used to be Cloud. I hope all is well, my boy. Been super busy. No problem. What up, Jug? I'll call you Jug. What up, Mike? How you doing? Like Mike is back in the building. So basically what I'm saying is that, bro, what I'm saying is not really that difficult to comprehend or to really far-fetched. To that if I could think of this at my house at this time of the day while I'm hanging out talking with you guys, shooting the shit, talking wrestling, I think Tony Khan can try. We don't know all the details. We just know about the people that have been there and the people that have left and the things that they've compared about WWE. Like Daniel Bryan, I remember seeing him in an interview saying that one of the things that he misses the most about WWE is that WWE had writers who helped the wrestlers, gain a sense of direction. I saw an interview that Daniel Bryan, out of all people, said that. That once he got used to working like that it really helped him. I'm paraphrasing. I don't want to put words in his mouth either. So don't quote me on him saying exactly that word for word, but he was talking about that he had that he enjoyed working with the writers. Do I think AEW is going to go out of business anytime soon? If they don't get a good TV deal, yes. I'm not even kidding, and I'm not saying that hatefully. I read a report that they could potentially be under like $30 to $36 million this year alone. They have spent more than they've gained. They're still operating under at a loss. So if AEW keeps this up, yes, they'll go under. There's no way around it. No company can survive with negative numbers. No company at all. No matter how big of a fan you want to claim you are. That's just logic. It's just numbers need to add up, and if they don't add up, then you can't, you just can't keep moving forward. AEW is going to end up becoming a YouTube show if they keep, the numbers that they have right now. What about his father? Yeah, all right. His father has all the capital in the world, but it doesn't mean that the company right now is not profitable. The company is costing more to run it than it is for them to make a profit off of it. And you got to also understand that he also recently bought Ring of Honor, so he hasn't probably profited off of that either. And, things take time. I think he's still working out he's still trying to structure the company and what he's trying to do with Ring of Honor and HBO Max, the pay-per-views on there that are supposedly going to happen next year from what I've read online. There's a contract coming up now where he's going to have to renew the TV rights deal, which is going to get him a nice bonus. But you're asking me if can they go under, or like if it's a possibility. I'm saying that it is a possibility. It's not a given that they could sustain at the rate they're going. Now, what I read is that they could turn a profit by 2025 if they get a healthy pay raise on the TV rights deal, because right now they're making more money off of the TV deal than they are about from the fans in the arenas, which is the same deal with WWE. This isn't even like an argument. They make more money off of the TV deal than they do off of the producing all the shows, which is why which is why Endeavor, the owner of UFC and WWE now, they want WWE to stop doing the live events because they're spending too much money on that and they're not even selling out the shows. So they want to cut back on that to save money. They don't got to be on TV to be fair. If they want to be, bro, the fact that you're saying that, dog, just goes to show that you really haven't done your homework. Do you not understand that Tony Khan, like, he wants to beat WWE? Like, that's his motivation. Tony Khan doesn't want to be just an alternative. That was Cody Rhodes' idea. That was the Young Bucks' idea. Tony Khan doesn't want to be an alternative. Tony Khan doesn't want to settle for that. Tony Khan wants to be better than WWE and wants to be better than WWE in general. YouTube TV is pretty big. It's still not national television. Even though there's more people that have YouTube than watching cable television now, probably, like service providers. But the money behind it, you're not seeing the point. Yeah, the weird eye thing on the camera. Yeah, that was something that my video card does. I have it off right now, but it's supposed to look like you're always giving your attention to the camera. Dude, AEW was born in spite of WWE. That's literally like AEW is like the bastard child of WWE in a way. Like everybody that created AEW had something to prove that was anti-WWE. You don't remember when AEW first started? And they still do it every time they get a new wrestler that used to be in WWE. When AEW first started, all the headlines came because of the people that, like Chris Jericho and Moxley and all these guys that came. They all ripped WWE. Which is why that same crowd got bothered that CM Punk showed up at WWE and didn't rip AEW. I'm only saying that because I don't think they're getting a deal with WB, and if they do, they're gonna back down to Discovery. I don't think Tony Khan wants that. Nah, I think you're wrong. I think Tony Khan really wants to have a deal with Discovery, and I think Tony Khan really wants to incorporate AEW with Max and put as many premium events to evolve the company. Remember, everything that I've said tonight on stream is about 2023 and the past. We're not talking about the future. The future, there's endless possibilities. With a new deal, with more money, with more pay-per-views, more opportunities, more shows, that means that AEW is going to have more of everything, more time to produce better shows and content for wrestlers to evolve. More, it's just more. Now, is that workload going to be good? I don't know. That remains to be seen. Assuming that WB gets Raw, I think WB is just sending out a feeler to get Monday Night Raw, but I don't think they're going to get Monday Night Raw. If they get Monday Night Raw, they can't get AEW because WWE is going to have a contract that they're going to be the only wrestling show on that network. I don't think WB is worried about getting Monday Night Raw as much as you think they are, bro. Just because you're in the wrestling world. WB is worried about not going under themselves. WB is worried about merging with Paramount and becoming a super entity. You think the morale and drama backstage is gone now that CM Punk is no longer there? No. AEW always had drama. Now, there was a time that they were kind of tight and there was nothing coming out, but they have too many wrestlers on that roster.
They're not tight, bro. Nobody respects nobody there.
Exactly. I don't know. Crazier things have happened. What do you mean? Wouldn't Punk be one of the selling points?
FX will get Monday Night Raw.
I don't think you get it, Ace. It's not about... Go ahead.
Disney XD has a better chance.
Pretty much, exactly. Dude.
Or BET.
Dude. That one made me laugh. Alright, Saif. I'll catch you on the next one. Ace, you don't get it, bro. It's not that WWE's not selling a product that's worth buying. Is that Warner Brothers is right now stressing over staying afloat. It's about it's about Warner Brothers trying to stay ahead of the game.
Got their life vest on.
It's about them saying, "Are we coming into work tomorrow?"
Exactly. You don't understand what's going on. So Warner Brothers was sold by AT&T while the ship was sinking, and Discovery bought them to try to expand their content and their library and their, everything that they were doing. Discovery is now in trouble, right? Because of all the losses they got from the movies back to back to back and the pandemic and all that shit. So since they're struggling on the entertainment side of things, on like movies and programming and shit like that, they're looking to merge, and there's multiple things going on behind the scenes right now. They just had a business meeting, I think yesterday it was, with Paramount. The fact that they're interested in WWE just means that they had a meeting with them to see what they're how much they cost. But it doesn't mean that they're desperate to spend money on WWE. That could even be a tactical point in the conversation with AEW to lowball them. Dude, I don't think AEW is going to get a better deal than they're getting from WB Discovery. I think AEW is pretty much submissive to whatever WB Discovery is willing to give them. I'm being honest with you. I think maybe as another option would be, well, funny enough, Paramount TV used to be Spike, and maybe they want to get him. But either way, Paramount is the one that's talking to Warner Brothers to merge, so it kind of might be the same thing. So yeah.
Wait, who's trying to merge with Paramount?
Oh shit.
WB.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had a meeting about merging.
Gotcha.
Which is kind of like it's kind of like what WWE did with Endeavor. That's kind of what it is. Like, obviously, I'm not a business guru, but WWE and... Hold on, let me change my headset. So WWE and UFC merged as one entity. They're called TKO, but it doesn't mean that they have crossovers or anything like that.
Yeah, John Jones is gonna be taking on Brock Lesnar for the Intercontinental,
for the Universal Undisputed Intercontinental Extravaganza. At WrestleMania 41.
Yeah, Conor McGregor's entering the Andre the Giant Battle Royale.
Exactly. So a merger doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's more of a business thing. Then it's just so like they're gonna be feeding each other off of the same, on the same umbrella is basically what it is. It's a business transaction.
Like the Umbrella course, like Resident Evil? Or?
Yeah, exactly. All right, Super Saiyan, are you still here? Let me read some of the stuff you were saying. All right, let me scroll up. How often do you think should AEW have those types of matches? Should it be limited or do it for special shows? If we're talking about like the hardcore stuff and all those things.
What kinds of matches?
Yeah, what kinds of matches were you talking about? Lex isn't lying. The house shows in Madison Square Garden. I saw main event matches for every card. Oh yeah, no, the Madison Square Garden are definitely special. The house show I went to had Nexus versus Batista, Kane, and John Cena. John Morrison, Undertaker came out. This was before bragging rights. Oh, wow. There was also a tag team with CM Punk as champ, Zack Ryder and Daniel Bryan versus some... Oh, yeah, that's when they were pushing Zack.
Shit.
Bro, I think big matches need to be saved for pay-per-views, because pay-per-views need to feel special and grand, and like it's like the climax in most cases for the story. I'm not saying that they need to put everything on pay-per-view. I know I know right now they've only had 4 pay-per-views on average per year. So I understand that they need to make Dynamite special for you to tune in. But what makes you think that having 12 pay-per-views is going to be good for them when they're struggling to put climax and content and storylines on a weekly basis? They literally produce their shows, like I said, like a house show. Fuck it, Kenny Omega doesn't have nothing to do. Chris Jericho has nothing to do. Well, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho are becoming a tag team, and they're going to be called the Golden Jets. Bro, Brian even asked me the other day, bro, have Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho ever tag teamed together? They look like they were talking like if they've been tag teaming for years. And I'm like, no, they just got put together because they're feuding right now. They have a common interest in Starks and Big Cass, and you know they're gonna fight for like the belt or some shit.
Come on, get these niggas on the crane, bro.
I was trying to get somebody at the top. Yo, what's up with the chat though? Are you guys sleepy or what? You guys want to end the stream already? I gotta see the chat active. If not, I'm gonna shut it down.
Shut it down.
Yo, what happened to Marco today? Marco kind of sold out, huh?
Yeah, he did.
And
He's probably playing Fortnite offline.
Since sold
Soon he
out
sends
too.
Ron McDonald at the bar.
Oh yeah.
He fell asleep, fool.
Oh shit, I got WWE needs an arcade 1-up. That would be cool. That's a good that would be cool. So if AEW build up stories and had the same kind of matches, you would be more into it. If AEW diversified their characters and worried less about taking shots at WWE and worried more about being their own self, I would tune in more.
Don't go outside.
Thanks. At the end of the day, it's a wait and see. I ain't wishing no ill will. Nah, bro. I want AEW to succeed. I think AEW needs to succeed for everyone involved. Where are all those wrestlers that are in AEW gonna go if they're not there? I know WWE's not gonna take all of them. Random thing worth mentioning. I love that TNA is going back to TNA. I hated that they had changed it to Impact. I thought that was stupid. And I love that they're going back to their original colors. Bill Corgan? Who the hell's Bill Corgan? Am I gonna watch TNA with the revamp? No, I'll watch the highlights. I follow them on social media and like YouTube and shit. I'll keep watching them how I watch them now. I know about Jason Alexander. I'm aware of him, and I'm aware of some of their anniversary shows and shit like that. Who's Billy Corgan though, fool? Nah, they're not bringing back the 6 sides because that ring and that concept was a stupid idea. The ring was stiff and it hurt them a lot. A lot of people were annoyed online that they're not bringing back the 6-sided ring, but that's because they're not in the ring, you know, performing. TNA has the same problem AEW has to a degree. Nah, I think TNA does more stories than AEW. They have a lot of promos. TNA tries to be like mini WWE, and they have like really cool backstage segments. One thing that I always give TNA credit for is their backstage segments are always dope. I mean, to be honest, as a fan, I've seen a lot of good matches in AEW through its time, but I still think that TNA peaked. And look, I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking like, I think that if TNA blew up and was peaking in this era, they could pull the same numbers as AEW. Put it that way. And I'm giving credit to them for what they were like, bro. They had like Kurt Angle, Sting when he was still with prime form, like. Kurt Angle, some of Kurt Angle's best matches that I've seen have been in TNA.
Yeah, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles.
Yeah, like they had a really great young class and they had a really great mix of veterans. TNA, prime TNA, in terms of content and what they were producing, is still peak. Like that peak was still higher than AEW's peak right now. And AEW is a lot younger. I think one thing that we need to put out there into the universe on record is that what AEW has done from, I think, 2019 till 2023, they just turned 4 years old. What they've done in 4 years is unprecedented. That has never been seen before. That has never been done before. This is very insane and monumental that in the same breath of WWE, TNA, and all these other companies, New Japan, whatever, we're mentioning them in the same breath. In just 4 years, that alone deserves a ton of credit. The only reason why the celebration is not as loud as the criticism in my eyes is because it's coming from someone that has a ton of money, right? That kind of waters down the whole thing because he's just running the check because he has the checkbook wide open. So it's not forcing him to get really creative. He can make all the mistakes that he's making. He could sign all the wrestlers that he's signing. He doesn't have to use everybody right. I feel like every little move that TNA ever did, dude, like it needed to be calculated because they were fighting for their lives every single month from going under on a weekly basis. You catch my drift? TNA could have gone under at any given, moment. And you felt that. In AEW, it doesn't matter that they're under $36 million. Everybody goes out there like they're freaking The Rock and Stone Cold. And you would think that that's a good thing. It's the fan base that makes it toxic, for sure. So it's crazy. It's crazy that like I feel like TNA peaked higher than AEW has so far, but then you gotta also think, damn dog, AEW has only been around 4 years, because even when I got into TNA like in 2008, 2007, I mean TNA had already been around for like, I think TNA started in the early 2000s. I think they used to be called the NWA, right? TNA used to be NWA, and then they turned into TNA. And I was, the Dixie Carter era was really good too. That's the one that I got into. And I saw Main Event Mafia there, like Scott Steiner, like the ending of those guys,
Yeah, what's it called? Aces?
Yeah, the Aces and 8. That's one of the best Bubba Ray, Bully Ray was his name there, but that was like the best Bubba Ray Dudley. Especially since he was, the leader. He was the surprise leader of the group. That was so dope.
He was buff as fuck.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was dating one of the divas that were there too at the time. So people could say whatever they want about TNA, but TNA had some really, really, cool stories that did remind me a little bit of WWE, and it had that classic feel to it, and they also had a bunch of like crazy, stupid stuff, but it was always original.
What? Saved your life.
Oh damn! Thanks. They always tried to be original. That's what I liked about TNA, like the not just the 6-sided ring, but the X division, which was basically like the High Flyers division. I thought that show was super dope, and it still is. It still is dope. Their tag team division was always good too. ODB was awesome. I liked ODB. I always wish she went to WWE. Awesome Kong was annoying. I never really cared about it. That TNA game was top tier. I like the TNA game. That was actually the last.
Better than AEW.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was a little. Yeah. It was a little stiff, but it was better than the AEW game. It was a little stiff though, but for its time, the graphics and everything, oh my god, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely not as good as WWE, just like AEW isn't as good as WWE, but it launched better than the AEW game for sure. That was actually the last game that Midway made as a company. They went under right after. Which is what happened. That's why the future of the TNA games fell apart, because the creator of the game fell apart. Yeah, from what I remember, I had a blast playing that game. But yeah, it suffered from the same issues as the AEW game. It wasn't really, the lifespan wasn't long. But it was fun, dog. It had, again, for its time and for what it was, really good. 7 or 8 out of 10, probably 7.5, 8 out of 10. Well, that's kind of like what I gave the AEW 5 for, but I'm comparing for time, pound for pound, for what it was individually. You know, so forget about even being like WWE, Ace. Try to be like TNA. Try to be original. Try to take those risks that they did. And again, dude, you're right. You could say, "Oh, Lex, but you haven't watched it. How would you know?" You're right. I'm talking about from a limited dosage. They have put on good shows. They have put on good stories. I'm not saying that everything is all bad news. It's not even close to what I'm trying to say. Its engine was better than AEW's game, and it was made 15 years ago. Yeah, the engine, the AEW engine is a little clunky, but so was the TNA one at the time. I remember. The problem with the TNA game is the same problem that the AEW game had, that there wasn't enough molds to sustain its life long enough.
I heard the story was pretty good from TNA.
Yeah, I remember playing the story. It was a lot better than the Elite story. You're right about that. I'll give them that. I remember playing the showcase. It was a lot better. It had cutscenes and shit. I liked it, bro. I liked that. I remember really, really enjoying it. That's actually how I met Stunna in 2007. In a TNA IGN forum. Talking about the game. Seems like that's the thing with wrestling games nowadays. It's only fun for a time being. Yep. That's how most of the games are. Bro, the problem with the wrestling community is that they want to be spoiled and they want games to last forever. And they're like, oh, but Here Comes the Pain lasted forever. Yeah, because you were a kid and you were playing the same shit over and over and over. Now, it's not to say that the game wasn't great. It was great, especially for its time, the shit that you could do in the game. No denying that part. But there's a lot of kids right now that are playing WWE 2K23 and they're going to think that that's the best game ever for them. And then they're going to get into like 2K30 and they're going to be like, oh, this is not the same as 2K23, man. 2K23 was so much better. And we're going to be like, no, bro, we played 2K23. That was not better. I remember. You guys don't know about the real WWE games. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. That was a time to be alive. And the other problem with TNA game was the company went out of business. Yeah, that's what I said. Am I a boomer? Yeah, a lot of kids will call us a boomer. I've been called a boomer before on here.
A boomer?
Yeah, boomer.
But a boomer is baby boomer. We're too young for that.
No, I know, but you know, people say shit just to say shit. King Carter was asking me if he's a boomer, and I'm just saying that, yeah, people will call us that, especially when we're going to be talking about all these old-ass games. So we've played so many wrestling games for so long. There's been so many games that have been, you know, have been better match types and all this, and sometimes less is more. Some of the games back then had a lot less than now. Less cutscenes, less, but it had more dialogue and text. It had more, you know, less is more, bro. In this current, in the current state of the gaming world that we're in, because if you compare some of the wrestling games from back then to now, I mean, they had more match types, but they had less modes. But we were able to milk the shit out of it. Bro, You know how I would spend endless hours just playing random exhibition matches, bro. Not even and doing like random tournaments and a bunch of just random shit offline. We didn't even have offline back then, or I didn't have offline. I mean, online back then is what I meant to say. About the early 90s, they were horrible. Oh no, but that's not even. Come on. What about 2K14? 2K14, I always say, is a game that I missed out at that time, but I've gone back now. 2K14 was great. Underrated game that people don't enjoy as much was 07 and 08. I think 07 is the one that I bought. I bought every single WWE game after 07. I mean 07 and beyond. Because I got back into it like in 06, playing my friends. But yeah, I mean 2K14, bro, that shit had even create a story and you could download stories from other people online, like, and I didn't even exploit that shit. Do you think it aged well? I think it aged extremely well. 2K14 is still playable even in today's era. Despite the controls feeling a little clunky at times and shit, it's definitely still playable and enjoyable. You know, Universe mode has always been a mode I've criticized. Always, always, always. I've never understood how people are always like, oh man, this is so great. I'm like, oh, no, it's not. I'd rather play season mode like back in the day. So I just feel like, bro, 2K23 was a good game. The biggest gripe that I have with 2K23 was the online was ass. They fucked up completely on the online. I don't know what they did. They never fixed it till this day. And I feel like they need to add a little more to my GM for me to really sink my teeth into that and get lost into that world, because I didn't really get to get as lost as I would have wanted to. It just felt a little bare bones as I got, you know, into like when I kept completing my sessions and I kept going back to replay it again. I couldn't really have a good experience. They need to let us create our own shows and customize it completely. I'm getting tired of the sandbox mode. Yeah, I'd rather them do season mode, bro. I want to play a season as my own wrestler and not get put in women mixed tag matches. It's like a glitch the game has. Didn't it have a draft in universe mode? Yeah, it did. But like, bro, like I said, I've always had a problem with universe mode. Universe mode, I always felt like it was kind of lazy compared to the season mode that I used to play in the SmackDown games in the PS2 era. Like if the PS2 was cheaper, dog, like if I could get a PS2 for like 40, 50 bucks and I could find a good version of the game for like 20 bucks, I wouldn't mind spending 100 and buy a couple of the old wrestling games and buy the PS2. And I'll get like SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, which I didn't get to play a lot when it came out, and I'll try to see how those games were. But I've looked into it. It's too much money. Too much money, realistically, for what I'm willing to spend on such an old console that's going to be burnt out, you know? So I've settled for like 2K14 and shit, which 2K14 was fantastic. I just beat it recently too. Would you rather have season mode or Road to WrestleMania? Road to WrestleMania is a good one-time thing. I'd rather have Road to WrestleMania than like the John Cena story. I feel like the John Cena story had too little matches. Road to WrestleMania, I feel like it had more. But I'd rather have season mode than universe mode. Universe mode needs to be more like a franchise mode, bro. I've said that shit a bunch of times here. And I'm gonna always say it because I hope one day they listen and they make it like an actual franchise mode, like in sports games. You know, I hate that there's no cap space. Like, why don't you sign wrestlers for money? Like, I hate that. I want to be able to. I don't like having all the freedom. Like, I like customizing it and then playing the world. This idea of like Taylor. And oh yeah, you could change everything. You could control everything. I don't want to control everything, bro. That's what I liked about season mode. You would walk around backstage. You would go into the GM's office. You would go, you know, make decisions, and random tag teams would happen, or you get feuds with people that you bump into, or you'll do an interview and they'll get interrupted. Like, they need to bring that back. I think it's so easy to, you know, to add that, especially with the graphics, how they look. Like, the game already looks amazing. They could just keep using the same engine over and over. And strip the game away from some game modes if you have to. I don't care. Because they have so many game modes right now, bro. They have more game modes right now than they've had in a long time. But then we suffer because we don't have as many matches as we once had. No, real talk, bro. Check swap meets. I got a PS2, a 1, a 360, and PSP for 10 each, all working. Only to get my NBA Street and Blitz League and Wii games? Oh, really? Swap meets? Yeah, I might have to check that out then. But the ones that I've been to, and like the shops, like pawn shops and shit like that I've seen, they just overprice the shit out of it. Facts, I hope they change some things in 2K24. Maybe just wishful thinking. Mostly going to be a reskin with CM Punk. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just want them to add more to what they already have. I don't think that's a lot to ask for. 2K23 was a step in the right direction, but they need to keep going, bro. They need to double down in 2K24. 2K23 was always going to be like 22, but a little better. That's fine. But 2K24 needs to you need a double or nothing. Straight up. You bought a modded GTA 5 account? Oh, God. You crazy, Carter. What you trying to do with that? I think wrestling games have the ability to be some of the most replayable, most exciting games across any genre. I just feel like they just settle, dog. And I know people always say, oh, they're being lazy. I don't think it's just easy as lazy. I just feel like maybe they don't have the right people hired. Like, they brought back Brian Williams that worked on the old games, so maybe he's gonna help them, you know, kind of tap into the shit that we all wanted. But I feel like, you know, with the technology we have today and the time that they took to make 22, they should have been, because they said they've been working on war games since before 22 even dropped, but they saved it for 23 because they needed to perfect it, because they had a lot of issues with the glitches. So they couldn't put it in 22 in time. But although I give them so much credit for doing that, I mean, like, come on. How long have we been asking for a special guest referee? How long have we been asking for a replay system, like a genuine photo mode? How long have we been asking for, like, just simple things that it should be a given in 2023? Like, how does a game from back then have more with less? Which is what I said just a second ago. That shit to me is mind-blowing. And it just sucks because I really want these games to that game, Carter, that me and you talk about, Wrestling Code, it sounds great on paper. When I saw Wrestling Code the first time that I saw like their tech test, I was like, oh shit, like this is something that I'm legit gonna buy. It reminded me of like when I was getting excited for TNA Impact. TNA Impact had really good graphics and it had a really good roster. Wrestling Code looks like it could be that. What up, ref? The problem that I have with Wrestling Code is that they announce it so early, bro, that I'm not gonna be excited for a game that's dropping like 2028 type shit. Like, Wrestling Code just sounds like it's really far off. Wrestling Empire lets you switch different camera angles. Like, come on, how is that? How is that in a game created by one guy that looks like N64, but it can be put in a high production millions of dollar, you know, like who's in control of that? Like, the ability to create that. 22 was the foundation for 23. 24 should really be the exactly. 24 should be the well polished one. We've been asking for different camera angles. Exactly. Like, come on. Like, what if, like, man, you guys really got me with this conversation. It just really irks me because the stuff that I asked for, bro, is not like a mystery or world-solving complication, you know? Like, I feel like it's just basic 101, like, photo mode. You press pause and go into a free roam and take pictures and whatever. Replay mode, same thing. It's in every sports title on the planet. Like, why do I have to save a highlight? You could be like on Lexx, but you could do that. You could save a 30-second highlight and you could go into video editor and you could go see it there. No, I don't want to do that, dog. I want to do it in the middle of my offline match. Oh, but it takes away from the experience. No, bro. No, it doesn't. Not to me. Every sports title I've ever played has always had that, and I've always enjoyed doing that shit like an idiot. Or like you said, different camera angles, bro. I'm tired of using the same camera angle. I want to zoom out. I want to look at it from the stands. I want to put it facing the Titatron area. I want to look at the LED boards. I don't know. Let me customize that shit, bro. What's so hard about literally allowing the user to play the game however they want? Now, one thing I will tell you with the game is that the commentary has evolved to a point where it's like commentary is so much better than it's ever been. So that's cool. The lines get a little tiring when you play the game for endless hours, but the commentary is better than it's ever been. No complaints from me on that end. Except for they could have different commentators. They could have like the Raw and SmackDown separation and shit. They should add a little more with the commentators. But like different camera angles, special guest referee, tournament mode should be more evolved. Defending titles online. The online, don't even get me started, dog. The leaderboards are straight trash, super toxic, fake, boosted assholes. Like there's no penalization. Like the online is a joke. Let's just call it how it is. The online is like the worst it's been back to back. I'm sorry. Like they don't even let you earn clan tags. They don't even let you earn emblems. Like that used to be a thing back in the day. That shit is so trash you can't do that anymore. The online is so trash. The fact that we don't have an online... AEW did online better? Barely, dog. I mean, the ranking system is better. I'll give you that. You're right. Like trying to be an AEW superstar and shit. Like getting that. They did do the ranking system a little better. You're right about that. But barely. The online AEW is just as awful. 2023, where every game focuses online, these people are not even focusing on it, like barely anything. They're doing the minimal requirements and it doesn't even work. I will say that AEW's Battle Royale mode is amazing. I would be playing the shit out of that every single day if people were on it. But the fact that they didn't make the game crossplay set it back to the Stone Age. Imagine, bro. A game for a company that not that many people watch. And a game that not that many people are going to get. They singled out everybody instead of doing crossplay and having everybody from PC, Nintendo, and regular consoles. If they would have done crossplay, that shit would have been a hit. I would literally stream Battle Royale mode on wrestling like every other day. But how many times did I try playing and it kept matching me up with computer? Shit was super whack. I think playing the computer in a Battle Royale is stupid as hell. You know, so I'll give them that. The online for that was cool. Like the idea for it. Imagine Intercontinental Championship tournament online with your buddies. Bro, that shit would be dope as hell. So that's for online. Online, we could have a whole stream and a whole conversation about that. But that's a waste of breath. They're not going to really... They're not going to do what I want them to do. Yeah, I remember Kenny. That's probably like the one thing that Kenny Omega probably lied about. That it was going to have crossplay. I think something happened where they had to take it off because they probably couldn't get it to work. And listen, guys... I've seen a lot of the developer interviews, like when they're hyping up the next game and they bring in the YouTubers to test it out and shit, and the YouTubers get to like, I've read and seen clips and videos, and I've heard what like Lionel Jinx has said, and I've heard what other developers within the team has said. They don't have the same amount of funds as NBA 2K. NBA 2K and WWE 2K are two different things. So you can't mix and match thinking that just because NBA has a fortune, that WWE is going to have that level of a budget. So they are on a tight budget in terms of what they could realistically accomplish, especially in the time frame that they have. I totally understand that concept, and I understand the issues that can come from not being able to push boundaries because of time constraints and funds. But all this effort that went into my faction, complete waste of time. because I wanted my faction. I didn't know it was gonna be called my faction, but I wanted like a fantasy team creation mode, like a faction. You know what they did, but they botched it completely, bro. They botched it completely. Whoever came up with the concept of my faction kind of fell asleep midway through the concept. Like they're like, oh yeah,
rock-a-bye baby to the treetop.
they're like, oh yeah, let's create a faction. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. We should collect cards. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. That's in every sports title now. Well,
Let's not put an auction house in.
yeah, what else should we do? And I'm like, wait, what? There's no auction house? There's no market to trade cards? There's no market to show off your cards with your friends? There's no private lobbies? There's no titles online? There's no leaderboards? There's no win-loss record? There's no, like, what? There's no, like, cap space. I mean, not cap space, but yeah, cap space to, like, create stipulations for you to have matches online. What? There's no grind. Like, what? There's no, like, pay-per-view incentives. There's, like, they just fell. Dog, they went into snooze control. They created the mode and just kind of hit all-wheel drive for the car to cruise control, and they just knocked out. They let the Tesla drive into the freaking destination. I wish everything was public about what's going on within the game, like what's the actual budget of the game. Oh yeah, I know. Nah, but if they did that, then everybody will light a firecracker up their ass. You know why? Because guys like the dude that created Wrestling Empire and the people that are creating Wrestling Code would probably make a way better game with all the budget because of the aspirations and the creativity and the. Remember, bro, these people probably don't have the same coders. And because this is all based on engine and coding. You know that they said that they didn't do I forgot what he said. Oh, they got asked why did they take away create a story? You know how they had in 2K14 and shit? Their answer, straight up, they didn't even, Lionel Jinx didn't lie. He said, oh, we don't even know where to begin to create that. The people that created that don't no longer work with us. And we don't, like, they basically admitted that they don't have anybody who has the knowledge to do what they did. And that it was Ukes that created that. And that they took that with them.
Well, they didn't take it to AEW, I can tell you that.
No, they definitely didn't put it in AEW. Well, they kind of did, because that's how Road to the Elite feels. Feels like somebody did it in creative story mode. You know, when I heard that, I'm like, oh man, yeah, so these people don't even have, you know, like we want them to create Here Comes the Pain, but without people that are capable of creating things that we saw in those. Your streams are like comedy gold, Lex. Thank you, Jason. I'm glad that you get a good kick out of it. That is true. Yeah, I mean, think about it. When I heard him say that, it kind of hit me. I'm like, holy crap. This whole time we've been judging these people to do something that they didn't even bother go hiring someone to do for them because they didn't have the resources to do it. They used to work on mobile games. Look at that. So imagine. How do you expect those people to create a GM mode? They don't even know how. You feel me? But then you go look at Universe mode, dog, and Universe is like the carbon copy of the same menus and the same layout, and it's like, dog, how has Universe mode been the same thing for so long and people love playing this? Because I played 2K13, 2K12, and Universe mode, the menu looks exactly the same. The calendar, the customization, the rankings, everything looks the same. How the hell is this supposed to be a new game from a new studio, but they have the same exact layout? Like, who fell asleep?
Who fell asleep?
Like, how the hell can we not do a 30-man Royal Rumble match? That's literally a battle royale. How can we not do that? Wrestling has already had that game.
I would dominate it. I would dominate all y'all in that.
Dog, can you imagine if they had a freaking Royal Rumble online with 30 people? That's literally what battle royale is.
That'd be dope.
Dog, how hard is that? Are their connection servers that garbage? We could barely get 8 people in the match. Bro, wrestling...
And then it errors out.
Then it airs out, exactly. Dog, wrestling's been ahead of the curve. They were Fortnite before Fortnite existed in terms of that game mode with 30 people. But they never did it. Come on, bro. Imagine if WWE did what AEW did with the Battle Royale with the Stadium Stampede. Oh my God, dog. I would love that shit. Like, I would literally shut the hell up if they did that. It was so fun, bro. I had so much fun playing Stadium Stampede, man. I really wish they brought that to WWE. Even the Royal Rumble. I would do the Royal Rumble. Would I do it every single stream? Nah. But I'll do it often.
Online Rumble and crossplay.
Oh, yeah. Come on, bro. Like, come on, guys. Is that being...
2023. Got to be 24.
No, 2032. do you really think that that's really a lot to ask for? Like, I understand that they don't have the right creators to code the...
Could be different coding, though, too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, are you really going to give me that excuse for a match that's already in the game? You don't know how to put together a lobby with 30 people?
Maybe it's the servers. Maybe it's the servers they can have 30 people in there.
Yeah, because they have freaking Marco in the server room eating pizza.
At the salad bar. Eating a little stromboli.
Come on, bro. Like, really? You really... Like, I get it. Create a story is too complicated. How about special guest referee?
Marco in the corner. Where's the croutons?
Where's the croutons? Let me get a little Thousand Island. We gotta get a restock on Thousand Island on aisle 4. That's not too hard to ask for, man. See, these YouTubers that go to these events, they don't ask the real questions. They don't want me to go to one of those events. Because I'll straight up look at them dead in the face and be like, bro, what's up with special guest referee? Why is that not in the game? What made that shit so hard? To press A so we can count 1, 2, 3. Y'all mean to tell me we're creating your own match, you can't be a referee? And they had that shit on PlayStation 1? They had what kind of coding were they using? And is that like Back to the Future, that they had somebody from the future go back in time to do it or something? Is it something you guys never hacked? There was one game that had a 30-minute Rumble online in the older games. Oh, so they already had that? Look at that. Even worse of an excuse. Yeah, it's true what Charles said. They probably don't have the right coders. Yeah, they probably need a... They need a mastermind, math whiz.
Is that what? Codemasters?
Yeah, Codemasters, the people that create the racing games. Or are you saying the Codinator? Come on, man. These are things that would literally extend the life of the game and make it so much more fun. But they make it seem like it's freaking, like you need to be a surgeon.
But they always, all of the companies, they always listen to the fans, the players, the
yeah. I don't know
community.
I don't know what fans they're listening to, though. They must be listening to fans that
listen to AEW.
Yeah. But then again, they probably do be trying. They just struggling on top of not being able to spend time with their family. I know, bro. That's the ultimate sub story. I get it, though.
Yeah, same thing with the Call of Duty.
Yeah, the Call of Duty. I know. I already said that. I already said that shit earlier today for Call of Duty, and I don't want to revisit that conversation. At this point, I'm about to tell the gaming developers to go to work for a construction company, 9 to 5.
Every fucking game developer, that's always the excuse. I have kids.
I have kids.
And we're all like Brock Lesnar. Fuck your kids.
We're gonna have to just say, dog, become a construction worker, work 9 to 5. You get paid holidays, you get weekends off most of the time, and go lay down some pipe. And that's it. You won't have to work overtime anymore. You won't have to stay sleeping in the drooling on the keyboard.
Coding.
Levi says they never came back from the pandemic. I know, bro. we're still suffering from that shit. That's incredible. But they used to work on mobile games, Lex. All right then, dog. Then whose fault is that? 2K needs to stop robbing WWE's money and license, and add real people onto the team if they don't have them right now. I guess that's why they did bring Brian Williams in.
You said Bernie Williams?
That's like blaming. Oh, guys, but these are the creators of Candy Crush. They don't know how to make. They don't know. Guys, they don't know how to create Lord of the Rings because the last game that they made was Candy Crush. They don't know how to have them.
Or it end up like Gollum, the game.
Exactly.
Give them a break. These are the creators that made the mobile game Chess 3D.
These are the games that made Yahoo Games, and they did tic-tac-toe. Like, come on, these are the guys that created Connect 4.
It's a step in technology. Last game they worked on was Solitary.
Solitary for Windows XP. It's crazy because they do have a version of Candy Crush. That's insane, though. Lex, my man, I'm back in black. What up, Tristan? I didn't even know you left, honestly. I thought you just...
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Tristan fell asleep. Ah, man. Dog, I cut them slack, but we'll see what 2K24, dog. They gave us War Games this last year for 23. Let's see what the next step in that evolution looks like. I have no expectations. I'll tell you that much. Don't ask me what my expectation. I'm gonna keep it 100. It needs to be better than 23. That's it. We need to go forward, not backwards. If we already went backwards online. Let's be real. Online was straight trash. We went backwards online. If we go backwards as a whole game, then we're in trouble. Cut them a break. 50% of their funds go to WWE Mayhem. Which is WWE Mayhem? Is that like a freaking tic-tac-toe game?
That's a damn mobile game, I think.
Oh, give them a break. The last game these people made was Crash Bandicoot Mario Kart. Give them a break. The last game they made was
Twister.
Give them a break. These are the people that made Monopoly for Ubisoft. Yeah, a break. While you were spending Thanksgiving with your family, these people were in the office grinding, putting a little bit of artwork from my faction.
Like these motherfuckers are the troops and shit.
Yeah, they act like they were in Iraq and shit, dog. Or like the creators.
Thank you for your service.
the people that created the game that were in the Ukraine. Remember the studio that made Stalker? They act like they made their game while they were in the middle of a war zone or something. Yeah, I had a league match and I got disconnected. I was whipping the guy's ass and now I gotta wait until later to whip his ass again. Yeah, bro. That's the world we live in with WWE. Give them a break. These are the guys that did tic-tac-toe. That's just like when they created Cyberpunk when it first came out and the shooting in the game was a little rough around the edges and everybody's like, oh, give them a break. These are the creators of Witcher. They don't know how to create a shooting game. What did you expect, Call of Duty? I'm like, no, bro, but I expected for the reload button to work. Yo, Carter. That's like wrestling code. That's taking like 20 years to get created. Like the people that created Brian, what was the game the day before? Yo, Brian fell asleep.
What? I'm here?
Oh, the people that created the day before.
Yeah. FN-tastic.
Yeah, fantastic. Carter, I don't know if you heard of the game that came out on PC called The Day Before. That they came out on Steam after the anticipation for the game, and everybody's asking for refunds, and the company went out of business. That's what everybody. That's how I feel about Wrestling Code. Wrestling Code on paper sounds like it's gonna be the best wrestling game ever. Interactive backstage, online leagues, tournament, defending titles online, expansive roster with like guys like Kurt Angle and shit. Rob Van Dam. Everybody does their own moves. They got Ken Shamrock. They got an interactive storyline that's gonna be replayable. They got this, that, and the other. The game is gonna come out. It's gonna have a ton of bugs, and the company's be like, "Hey guys, we're gonna have to give you a refund. I'm sorry. We tried making a good game for you. We just couldn't get it to work." Give me a break. The last game that these people worked on was Barbie Land. Look who's back, Marco.
It's because you said Barbie.
The WWE live show in Rochester was good. Didn't get any autographs. Let all the kids run up and have fun. Maybe I'll get lucky on the Royal Rumble access. They haven't announced Royal Rumble access. That's how you felt about AEW till you played it? What do you mean? Marco said, "What a bozo. Bozo." Look, bro, I stand by what I said. For what AEW tried doing and what they committed to do at launch, the game was solid. It was good. It was fun. It was exciting. I had a blast. I don't regret it at all. Like it was going to be the best wrestling game ever. Oh, I got you, yeah. But the problem with the game was that, we bought it on the idea that they promised that since this wasn't a yearly title, that it would get constant updates. Well, not just constant, but frequent updates. And that they were going to add things to it. They didn't say that this was going to be a game that you were going to pay $60 for. And then you had to buy every season pass and every little bundle to get an expansion. And, I understand that production costs money and funding, that they need funding, and the company being, a little tight on a budget. But they haven't really added anything to the game, dog. They haven't added anything significant. We still don't have crossplay. The story offline is repetitive with there's not a whole lot of extra. Well, look, I'm playing the story again with CM Punk on the Switch, and I won the Battle Royale, and then I won the AEW title. I didn't do that my first playthrough with Kenny Omega. So the story has been kind of a little different, but it still kind of takes you back to the same, it's taking me back to the same story with Pac and shit. So it kind of goes back to the same shit regardless. Oh, Marco's hitting his signature phrases. Now he said, "Let's get down to business." Yeah, I'm going to watch Rebel Moon. Marco, I told you I was going to watch Rebel Moon the other day when we talked about it. What's wrong with you, Marco? You're going down beat by beat. He said, "What a bozo, what a bozo. You're going to watch Rebel Moon. Let's get down to business." Now he's going to say Pooper Scooper.
Just so everybody knows, Marcos is the same type of people that make AEW video games.
Yeah, Marco's a Pooper Scooper.
Shit.
That's what Wrestling Code is saying as well. Damn, Carter. Now that we just said all of this right now, that we're kind of laying it out on this conversation we're having. Like the day before, the creators of the day before, they did little developer blogs. They put out gameplay videos. Everybody was anticipating it. They bought it, and then they went under. AEW, same thing happened with what they said, and then everything got caught. Everything is pay to add, not pay to win, but pay to add. You subbed. Welcome to the channel, Tanner. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate the subscription.
Danny Tanner.
Damn, rest in peace. Yeah, now I'm a little worried for Wrestling Code. Maybe we're putting too much stock into it. Lex, the one thing I'm excited for in 24 is the Royal Rumble surprises. Oh, man. But what bigger surprise than CM Punk are we going to get? We could get...
AJ Lee.
Yeah, yeah, for the women. We could get some cool cameos, right? We could still get some cool
The
cameos.
Rock.
Nah, that would be amazing. I think that's far-fetched, but...
Ken Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock would be dope. Goldberg will have a feud with Austin Theory in 2024. But what would that do for Austin Theory though? Matt Cardona at the Rumble? Yeah, that'll be cool, dog. But that's like, those are cool cameos. Like, those are like guilty pleasure cameos. Those are not like earth shattering, like crossover, like Marvel Cinematic Universe crossover type. I think the biggest thing we could have at the Rumble would be like The Rock coming back. Like bigger than, or Stone Cold. Sorry, Stone Cold coming back too. Like, what's bigger than? I just don't know how you top CM Punk's return at the Rumble. You know what I'm saying? I remember, I'm only going as far as my eyes can see. I don't see what WWE production sees. Maybe they're talking to Stone Cold for all we know. Maybe they're talking to The Rock. Maybe they're talking to Goldberg. Not even Goldberg would be that big. I know they'll probably talk to Brock Lesnar, but I don't know. Snoop Dogg coming out. That'll be fun and everything, but I don't see that as like a big crossover. Like, Goldberg will be cool. That'll be cool to see him again one more time, I guess. I love like when they've done the announcers where like Booker T has been ringside. He's been doing the commentating and his song has hit and he's had to take off the shirt and go in the ring. I love when they've done that shit. Tony Khan showing up. The Rock come back. That would be awesome to start out 24. Yeah, I guess AJ, bro, I never really saw AJ Lee like that. I liked her, but I was never like a big fan of hers. I like Beth Phoenix more and shit. AJ Lee was good though, but I don't know. That wouldn't really move me like that. I would say the same names that I said last year. The Rock or Stone Cold coming out will still be big. But I think those names will always be big because it's such a hard possibility for them to actually even be there. Swear to God, Lex and Levi, if we don't get no legends in the Royal Rumble 24 match, this will be my final Rumble match ever. Stop lying. Royal Rumble
We get legends every Rumble match.
Yeah, we get legends every Rumble. We're talking about significant level of like, dude, we're gonna get Brock Lesnar, and that counts as a return because he's not in WWE right now. But that's not what I'm talking about. How would you feel if Endeavor bought AEW? I mean, it depends.
What would be the point of it?
Yeah, well, exactly. What will the point of that is my first question, and then on top of that is like, what are they looking to do with that? Like, dude, you do realize that except for like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, like MJF and like Ricky Starks, like except for like a little more than a handful of wrestlers, everybody there at AEW has been in WWE before. Merge it with WWE, yeah, but they're not gonna gain any more fans. The people that watch AEW are the, people that want the alternative. Like, it's not gonna make them want to tune in. You're basically gonna spend Lord knows how many millions, probably $1 billion, right, to buy 600,000 fans on average on a weekly show, because that's what they get on their shows. 600,000 to 800,000. And remember, that's a different. They do their shows on a different slot. A lot of those same fans watch WWE as is already. So that's not a real solid number to go by. That's how many people they're going to add to their product on a weekly basis. So what would be, they don't have any significant, like Double or Nothing is a pretty big, brand, but Double or Nothing is not WrestleMania though. Neither is All In. They don't have any real brands like that stick out that is a recognizable name. Hot take, AEW is going to invade WWE before Royal Rumble. I don't know why. What are you talking about in the video game? Last year's Rumble was pretty boring. Good choreography, but putting Cody at 30 was just so predictable. I miss WWE being unpredictable. Have CM Punk come out 25-29 and The Rock come out at 30. I don't think Cody coming out at 30 was predictable. I think Cody winning was predictable, but I think the number wasn't really that predictable until you saw the last few that weren't there, you know? You mean in real life? No, there's no chance that AEW... And you know what's funny? That AEW... Like Tony Khan said, he wanted to work with WWE, but WWE has been reluctant at every point in time. They haven't even returned their calls. So if you want to go about predictable, this year's Royal Rumble is predictable too. There's no better option to win the Rumble than CM Punk. CM Punk looks like the heavy favorite to win the Rumble if you want to please the fans. That's as predictable as it gets. Last year we predicted Cody Rhodes because it was the same thing. No better person to win the Rumble than Cody Rhodes. He deserved it. He had just came back. Same thing. It's the same scenario all over again. I mean, you guys, you know magic is fake. But when you see a magician do his trick, you want to suspend your belief for just 1 second. If the magician made you believe in what he or she is doing for that 1 second, just 1 second, that your mind was able to skip a beat and you were able to just zone out and just like get wowed, that's what it's about. That's what wrestling is about. I compare it to magic all the time. When they're able to capture the essence of magic and you're able to suspend disbelief for a second that you're watching a scripted show, and you're able to buy into what's going on in the ring, the story, the near falls, the near counts and all that. That's when you're mesmerized, and that's what wrestling is all about. That's why you watch it. That's why you tune in on a weekly or monthly basis or whatever. You look for those moments. That's what you yearn for as a fan. You're trying to get lost in the story. So, yeah, we may know that Cody Rhodes was going to win the Rumble, but the way that they did it, with Gunther having the Iron Man performance and stealing the show and the storyline, like him and Gunther had a full-blown match at the end of the Rumble. Cody didn't just come out at number 30 to come out at number 30. Cody came out at number 30 and had a full-blown main event level match. And in that moment, just for 1 second, Triple H had you believe that Gunther was worthy of winning the Royal Rumble. In that moment, for just a split second, you said, holy shit, Gunther has arrived. And thanks to that performance, Gunther has been probably the best Intercontinental Champion that we've ever seen. Just because he was able to suspend our belief in that moment in time. So if CM Punk is going to win the Rumble, all Triple H has to do is make sure that he's able to capture the moment. That's it. And that's not easy to do, bro. Sometimes you knock it out the park. Sometimes you fumble the bag. Lord knows we've seen WWE fumble the bag before. It's not easy. Why can't we just watch wrestling without the prediction aspect? Well, prediction, it's part of the game, right? What you'd rather say is, why can't we watch wrestling without the spoiler aspect? Without knowing real life and the work behind the scenes? Why do we need to know the trick? Why do we need to know the trick behind the magic? Wrestling is funner when you don't know how they pull off the trick. I'd like to see a fatal four-way style championship match at Rumble. Even if Cody wins, would be good. I would like to see Randy Orton versus LA Knight versus AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns. That's what I would like to see. What do you have against Cody Rhodes winning the Rumble match again? I don't have anything against Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble match again. The reason why we talked about it early on in the stream is because Sin said that he didn't want CM Punk to win at all costs. See, Cody winning again, it's very scary. Thank God I'm not a writer, right? For WWE. Because here's the dilemma. they have right now. If Gunther was an Intercontinental Champion, you could easily say that he's a valid winner. But Drew McIntyre has a match at day one, but who's to say that he can't win the Rumble, right? He could definitely win the Rumble. It'll be anticlimactic for sure, but he could still win the Rumble. But when you look at their roster right now, you know, if Kevin Owens wasn't going for the U.S. title, he's another one you would throw up in there. But you have at least a handful of people that could win the Rumble. So if you're able to have Cody face off those handful of people and kind of earn his way to get to that moment, by all means, they were able to capture, you know, Cody struggling to get to that unexpectedly. But if you have Cody flat out take out, I don't know, Hurricane Helms, I mean, you know, the Hurricane, you can't have Cody Rhodes take out like some mid-card guy like Butch. Butch can't be one of the guys that Cody Rhodes eliminates near the end. You know, it needs to be someone that's going to make you believe that they're capable of winning in that particular moment. That's what it's always about. So if they're able to create that, kind of like Gunther versus Cody happened last year, then, you know, it's all about the moment, dog. How they get there. How do they get there? I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. But it can't be basic. It can't be the same way they did last year's. Maybe this year you can... You know, one of the things that I really like is when wrestlers forget that there's someone hiding outside the ring. That always gets to me. Alberto Del Rio did it. Rusev did it. Santino Marella has done it. Where they fall out the ring between the ropes and they stay hiding under the curtain. And then at the very end, they come in for the win and, you know, they have like a show. They could do one of those angles. Dean Ambrose returning at Royal Rumble and beating Roman at WrestleMania 40 would be the best option. Wait, but are you talking with like real life logic, or you're talking in terms of WWE 2K24 elements? Easy, he wins a match at Elimination Chamber. Yeah, you could definitely have... I would rather see Cody win a #1 contendership match in an Elimination Chamber with 5 other people. And I would rather have them all be former Roman opponents. At the Elimination Chamber, dog, I will put Cody Rhodes. Let me count. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, that's 2. I would put Finn Balor, that'll be 3. I would put... We're missing 3 people. Jey Uso, that'll be 4. We need 2 more. Former opponents for Roman Reigns. LA Knight, that's 5. And by then, Randy would have already faced him. So 6. Or AJ Styles. No, AJ Styles hasn't fought for the belt. So Randy would have already faced him because Randy's facing him at Royal Rumble. Oh, or Bobby Lashley. Yeah, you could put Bobby Lashley in that mix. Instead of Jey Uso. Oh, put Jey Uso in the Elimination Chamber and have Jimmy cost him the moment. Have Jimmy get a little serious and take out his brother before entering the chamber, so they could start the feud for WrestleMania. That'll be crazy. I would do that actually. And have someone replace Jey Uso. And the person that replaces Jey Uso is Bobby Lashley. Another fan favorite. That'll be good. Big E or Wade Barrett I'd like to see. Well, at the Royal Rumble, yeah. Yeah, Wade Barrett entering the Rumble would be dope. He's ringside doing commentary and his song hits. But we need Jay versus Gunther at the Rumble. Yeah, Jay versus Gunther at the Rumble will be good, but I'm talking at the Chamber. Actually, Seth versus Roman double title match? Nah, you crazy, bro. Oh, yeah, this guy is trolling. He said, actually, Seth versus Roman double title match at WrestleMania 40 and Punk and face Ryback. Yeah, he's trolling. Tanner snoozing. Imagine LA Knight and CM Punk, the last two in the Rumble. Oh my God, that would be electric. Nah, you trolling. Ain't no way you just threw right back in that conversation. Stop it. Yeah, he's playing WWE 2K25 at this point. Nah, he trolling. He said, Tanner said Ryback. CM Punk would exercise his clause and freaking relinquish his contract and leave WWE if he has to face Ryback ever again. Lex, you fans are just assuming WWE does a Roman Reigns #1 contendership match, but the last 2 years they didn't even do a #1 contendership match. I know they did the United States Championship match last year, and this year because they're in Australia, they could do the Intercontinental storyline there. I know. I'm just throwing that out there as an idea, bro, for Cody Rhodes to get the #1 contendership. Bro, to do it even better, I'd have Roman defend his title in the chamber. That's what I would do. Roman needs to defend the belt. Have Roman earn his keep. He hasn't wrestled all year long. Put him in the Elimination Chamber. Have him defend his title against other 5 guys and have them beat everybody. If I won the lotto, I fly out to join y'all. I may call off for the Rumble. You have to, bro. You gotta watch the Rumble. I want Cody versus Punk, the last 2. You gotta be careful, dog. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be really hard to book the Royal Rumble this year. You gotta be very, very, very careful. One mishap, and you could have a Daniel Bryan hijacking moment like they did to Batista. They need to be very, very careful. CM Punk eliminating Cody Rhodes is not a good look at all. And Cody Rhodes eliminating CM Punk could be a little harmful as well. I don't think that's a logical moment right there. Now, could they have a face-off? Yes. They need to be the Final 4. But you got to be very... Bro, they need to be so careful with how they book whoever's going to win, even if it's Cody Rhodes or CM Punk. Because... not just the crowd in attendance, but I'm talking about like the crowd watching around the world. If they book it in a way where it pisses a lot of people off, that shit could ruin momentum for the winner. Even if it means to face Roman Reigns or Seth, even if it means LA Knight is winning the Rumble. Like, you got to be very careful how you book that shit. You got to specifically do it against a bad guy if you're going to have a good guy win. And are you really going to have a good guy win? Think about it. They had Cody Rhodes, the ultimate good guy, win last year. So what, the Royal Rumble's going to be the good guy party now? Oh, but Lex, but Roman is a bad guy. Yeah, Roman's a bad guy right now, but Roman doesn't have to be a bad guy forever. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we don't know if they're going to do Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania. If Rollins costs Punk the Royal Rumble, that would be kind of wild. Ah, man. Having Seth Rollins come out to do that petty shit, I don't know if that's ideal. I don't know how I feel about that. You remember, Seth Rollins is playing the hero. He wants to take CM Punk out of the equation because he's defending his home. You're gonna make the hometown, you're gonna make the hometown hero, WWE hero, do that. Could Lex Luger be in 2K24? I think they put him in WWE Supercards recently, didn't they? I don't know who's gonna be a heel here. Is Punk moving forward as the heel? I think Punk is going to move forward as the ultimate rebel, and people are going to get behind him like they got behind Stone Cold. I think what's important is which number everyone is coming out as. I think Cody Rhodes needs to come out number 1. I think Cody Rhodes needs to come out at number 1. Yeah, if he's in Supercard, he might be in the game. Cody needs to come in at number 1. He needs to make it look like it's damn near impossible for him to win, and he needs to make it to the final 4, put on the performance of a lifetime like Gunther did last year. He needs to Cody Cutter a bunch of people. He needs to almost get eliminated like a gazillion times. Who did Sins choose to win the Rumble? He said he wouldn't mind seeing Cody Rhodes win the Rumble. Yeah, I don't know if WWE's gonna go with the obvious, which is CM Punk, because they went with the obvious last year. I don't think they'll do the obvious 2 years in a row. Who knows? I think because what Sin said earlier might play a role into Triple H's booking. Having Seth Rollins and CM Punk face each other is already a given. Maybe Triple H uses that as like, you know, his token. As his perfect excuse to not give CM Punk the Rumble.
I'm gonna be out.
You out?
Alright, fool.
Okay.
Alright, foolie.
I know.
Peace out.
Later.
Double elimination? That'll be dope. Double elimination would be interesting. Timing a double elimination is scary though, dog. In real time, live. Here in Bulgaria, there are many guys who think Cody is only a mid-carder and never will be something more. That's funny. You know, I had to throw away my milk the other day because that shit got cloggy.
Mmm.
And it wasn't even expired.
Damn.
Yeah, it was almond milk that I had.
That's pretty wild.
So guys, hit me with a couple more themes and we're about to close up the stream. We'll close up shop here shortly. So what's your final take? You could only pick one winner for the Royal Rumble. I asked it earlier. A lot of people said CM Punk, but I want to hear about it again. I want to see how you guys are feeling. Y'all got to factor in the money in the bank too, Mr. Priest. Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. Goldberg, nah, Goldberg ain't winning the Rumble. Final take, CM Punk and Liv Morgan. Jake the Snake. Yeah, okay. Cody. Valid. Bushwhacker Luke. That's funny. Yeah, I think we're in for a treat. I think this is going to be one of the best Royal Rumbles ever. I think last year's Royal Rumble was good, but I think this is going to be one of the best Royal Rumbles ever. I'm really, really excited for it. I like that they're keeping it in a major stadium. Yo, Lex, question for you. Who do you think we get as a celebrity in 2K24? We got Mr. T. We got Zeus. I'm predicting we get Andy Kaufman. What do you think? I don't think we'll get Andy Kaufman. Just because I don't think a lot of people will want that. That even though it's a cool guess. What if we got Snoop Dogg? Imagine Bailey winning. Yeah, I will get Bailey. Only 4 days left until Christmas. You know, man. Whatever. I'm not gonna get all mushy. I was gonna say a couple things here, but yeah. Zune was fun to play with. I gotta play with Zeus. I don't really play with him. Imagine Shaq. That would be amazing if they had Shaq. They should add Stephen Amell from the Green Arrow and how they had he did the show called Wrestlers, which got canceled unfortunately. Was it called Wrestlers? Oh no, Heels. It's called Heels. Sorry. The Wrestlers documentary on Netflix is the one with Al Snow. That's different. Heels, yeah. They should add Stephen Amell since Cody Rhodes is back. Oh man, they should add DDP. I love having DDP in the game. And another thing, since I put it on the title of the stream, I kind of wanted to circle back on the beginning of the stream here to close it. Do you guys think Drew McIntyre is going to re-sign with WWE in 2024, or do you think he's going to leave? If you had to guess, just don't go based on what you've read online. Just go based on what you know in terms of story, in terms of how he's been treated in WWE and his success. Do you think Drew McIntyre stays and gets re-signed? Mayweather, that would be funny. But he's so little, you know. I feel he'll still be in WWE. I think he's gonna resign. What's the best documentary? CM Punk, Best in the World, or The American Nightmare? Oh, that's a good question. I think they're both really good. I like the cinematic feel for Cody Rhodes. Like his felt like a movie. CM Punk's felt like just pure documentary. Ric Flair versus Roman. I just can't remember. Didn't you say you are living in Tampa? No, I don't live in Tampa. South Florida for me. Miami. He will re-sign with WWE. Yeah, I think Drew McIntyre is staying with WWE as well. I think Drew McIntyre is a WWE lifer at this point. As big as he is, I don't think they'll let him walk. He have a story going on. I don't think he's done yet. Yeah, I don't think he's done yet either. I just feel like he's the perfect fit for WWE. Lakers got whooped. What was the score, Marco? You should bring in Drew Bledsoe. Oh my God. This guy.
I haven't heard that name for a while.
124 to 108. I know, Mania. $124, 108. Who did they lose to, Mark? The Bulls. Oh, that's your squad. They lost to your boys. Oh, DeMar DeRozan went off, right? I saw he won player of the game. I didn't know it was against the Lakers, though. We had such an epic stream, man. This stream was only going to be a 1-hour talk show, and we ended up taking 3 hours and a half going through all the segments. Amazing. How do you feel about John Morant? I think he's a baller, bro. I just wish he stayed out of trouble. Vikings are toast this year. Sucks they lost Kirk Cousins. We've been playing good. 4th-string QB all season. Yeah, Vikings have been suffering a lot with the injuries through the years. Yeah, I thought this was a really, really good stream. And I said it yesterday. In January, we're going to start all the speculation streams for 2K24. We're going to do 2K24 conversation streams every week. Do you do sports bets? I've done it before. I had a lot of fun with it. Then I took a break. I've won more than I've lost for sure. But since I've been out of the loop for a little bit, I haven't gotten back into it after the break that I took. Why do you do it? Probably the best stream I've attended. Look at Ref. What a buzz. Thought about doing it. It's a lot of fun, bro. Especially like if you're like how I am. Like I'm a sore loser, especially when it comes to like specifically when it comes to like throwing away money like that. I don't like throwing away money. I like feeling like I'm getting my money's worth. So when you put money on the line, like I feel like it adds a stake to like everything you're watching. It raises the stakes on everything you're watching. I'm sorry. So yeah, if I'm doing that, I gotta be really invested into what I'm gonna watch. Great stream helps me fall asleep. Ref, dog, you're such a troll. This dude never engages in real I'm surprised you tune in as often as you do and you're here as long as you are. Do you really enjoy the streams? Realistically, because you're always fooling around. So I don't know if you really do enjoy them as much as you fool around. Minnesota has pool tabs and bars. I throw away money every day. Really? Feels like I'm not sleeping alone. Oh my god. Marco, you watching Rebel Moon tomorrow? I'm gonna watch it. At 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock my time. It's 10 to 12, so I'm gonna get Netflix tomorrow. I don't even have Netflix anymore. I'm gonna get Netflix tomorrow to watch it, like if I was going to the movie theater. I wish it was at 9 p.m. here. I hate that it's kind of like at 10. It's a little late, but damn, we got what? 3 likes to 20? Damn. You ready to lose to the Ravens? Oh, yeah, you did ask me about the Ravens earlier if they're playing the 49ers. 49ers have had a good year or what? In 4K? I don't know, man. I don't want to pay $20 for Netflix 4K. I don't think I'm going to do the $20 one. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do that one just to watch Rebel Moon. Even though I did hear that the visuals for that movie is really good. My streams are always at 2 a.m. No, they're not. That's not true. I stream in different time zones and different in different time zones and not different time zones. I stream at different times for the people living in different time zones. Because I have people watching from different areas, and I know that if I don't catch the night crew, then some people can't tune in. If I don't catch, you know what I'm saying, like the afternoon crew, it just depends. Don't Netflix have GTA 3? Yeah, you gotta download Netflix app on your phone, and then it'll register that you're on your tablet, and you'll be able to download the app for the game through the Netflix app. So like within Netflix, you'll go to the GTA game. It'll show it in a gaming tab. So you're a zoner. I'm a zoner. Yes, sir. I'm trying to reach out different time zones. I try to reach, the time zone in Europe and overseas. I try to reach the U.S. time zones in the afternoon or morning or whatever. It varies on the subject on the stream, on the content of the day, pretty much. That's how I kind of coordinate when I'm going to stream.
He's like that song. I got hoes in different area codes.
Yeah, because the thing is that if I stick to the same script every single day at the same exact time, I cannot stress enough how many times I get messages from people telling me, "Oh, Lex, but you don't stream at this time and I can't join. Oh, but when you stream at that time, I'm not here, or I'm not on YouTube, or like I can't make it to this time. Oh, can you stream at that time?" So what I try to do is just I vary the streams. So like if I'm gonna stream in the afternoon, then I don't stream on that particular day later at night, and vice versa. It just varies. I'd rather schedule it that way because I'm trying to have a reach.
Trying to have everybody.
Trying to have everybody involved. Yeah, trying to be as fair as I can to everyone's commitment to being able to be a part of the stream. So I hope that helped. I will see you guys on the next one. And we will be back with more wrestling. We will be back with more gameplay as well. Just do a 24-hour stream. I know, ref. I got you. Here you go. Good night.
I get no.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said.